When Jesus shed that blood, when he that made it easier to be able to walk in your sins, to know that you are not going to be perfect. Things are going to happen to you. But because I for you, you're able to ask for forgiveness and try to live righteous.
That don't mean that you can justify bringing somebody else into this world just because you had trauma. You have to become a whole person before you bring another whole person into this world. And if you really want to raise them up in the admonition of God, you cannot continue to live a lifestyle that would then lend itself to them living in sin, the very sin that we're trying to get away from. Forgiveness is for us. Grace is directly coming from God. We don't have grace to give.
So you don't sin? Elephant in the room, real quick. I want to address the elephant in the room. We got Anton Daniels here.
What up?
I didn't tell nobody we was doing the interview. Did you tell somebody we was doing the interview?
I told my people on the low.
Because it got out somehow. And I was like, damn it, I wanted that boom effect.
But
like
we were supposed to do it.
I know.
It was the winter storm and we were supposed to do it way before that.
Yeah. I just wanted it to be like.
This is the kind of the re interview.
Okay. All right, cool. Because, seeing us together, they would have been like, what the
I'm mad at you.
What'd I do? Oh my God.
Because okay, so Charleston is my guy.
Yeah.
And you was like, Charleston, don't you think you made Anton's platform?
I did say that. I said that.
I mean it, but I get it. I understand.
You didn't come on my radar until his videos started popping up.
But that's true. That's a lot of people's radar.
Yeah.
Right? But then at the same time, I ain't come on a lot of people's radar until I was about to deal with Corey Holcomb either. So
yeah, but then I went back to do my research, and you had a couple channels. You got a few channels that are like 4. Yeah, so you really been doing this a long time.
I'm a workaholic.
Yeah. So no, I'm not trying to play on your top. You've been doing this.
No, I think it's fair.
It's not fair because that's like somebody coming up to say, oh, didn't you become famous because you got sued? What?
But I mean, the reason why I think it's fair is because I don't take stuff personal from a content creation perspective. I get it.
All is algorithm. Yeah,
I think that a lot of people get easily offended at most things. I'm not one of those type of people. I've been doing it too long. I understand it.
How long you been doing this, Anton?
12, 13 years.
Okay, longer than me.
I've been on, but when I first...
on YouTube 12, 13 years?
Yep. But when I first started doing it, I was still in corporate America. So I couldn't really say the stuff that I really wanted to say because it would affect my bag and what I was doing and what I was building, right? Because I worked at banks, even though I was in information technology services, user experience, and then I worked my way up through that. And then eventually I retired in 2019. Okay. Right before I didn't know the pandemic was coming, but I retired in 2019.
Oh, look at you. You got out there and got in quick, didn't you?
Yeah, I was 37.
Okay.
When I retired, but I went broke in 2008, and then I retired at 37, 2019.
I went broke in 2008. Filed bankruptcy in 2008.
I think everybody went broke.
This is my second bankruptcy, but I ain't broke in this one.
Well, bankruptcy don't mean that you broke.
I just like to flex on that shit.
Yeah,
you gotta have money to file the type of bankruptcy I had, bitch.
That is true. Yeah,
so the thing is, but we just ain't got it all to get everybody at one time. You know what I'm saying? You got to get in line, baby. You got to get bottom line. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
But I did because when Charles was like, you don't think you built that channel? He was like, no, Anton. So he actually corrected that.
But to his credit, though, I think that he did give a lot of visibility, right? Okay. And on top of that, I think that he has made an impact on a lot of people's platforms and channels. So he deserves, that credit. Yeah. Honestly, he's a great content creator, but I'm a workaholic. Yeah. Because even after the interview, you still have to sustain yourself, right? You still got to build yourself. You still got to continue to maintain those eyes. So he does deserve a lot of credit, but I'm going to get there no matter what.
No, you've been getting there. I saw you just unveiled a plaque, 2 weeks ago?
Something like that. I got 4 of them.
Yeah. So I got 2. I'm like,
I'm chasing you.
I got a 3rd one. What do you mean? We have the same amount of followers. Stop.
Yeah, but you got there first.
Well, because I don't know how we got there. At the end of the day, you still finished the race. You understand?
I'm not done.
You never got out the race.
I'm not done.
I don't don't feel like we're racing now. It's like we're established and it has nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Unless we're like Beyonce and we're harboring alleged pedophiles and they lose like 12 million in one swipe. I wish I would. I'd be like, Jay-Z, you got to fucking
be on their head top,
bro.
You be all over their head top. You know what? But you operate with no fear.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what that is.
Everybody's equal. We all piss shit, bleed the same. All got the same.
Most content creators ain't like that. A lot of them they so busy trying to be friends with each other. That they can't be real and be honest. But that's
even
what
if I'm your friend, I'm still gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it takes a certain type of person to be friends with me. I have a lot of friends that I've been friends with my whole life, but they understand Tasha is not gonna hold her tongue. I stand on truth first. I'm the type of person, if I see something and it looks like it's injustice or it's fucked up, I'm gonna jump out the window. But then I'm gonna go back and ask later, why the fuck did I just jump out the window? But I'm already out there fighting this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, you didn't have to fight. That was the wrong team. Literally, that's how I am.
Yeah. I feel you. I get it.
But this ain't about me. This about you.
It's about me?
Yeah, they know about you on my platform. They know about me.
I don't know.
Yeah. Unless you want to collaborate.
No, I mean, we could do that too.
Okay, cool.
But right now, I want you to ask whatever you want to ask.
I do. So first of all, before I even got my team to reach out to you, Mika came to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my homegirl. Pop
culture Mika.
Yeah.
And she had a manager hit me. I was like, why does somebody with 50,000 followers have a manager? I was like, where they do that at? What'd she do? Yeah. So I'm trying to Google, like, I'm talking to my team, why does she have a manager and an agent? I ain't seen that no more. What'd she do? And she was like, well, I'm labeled as, you know, Anton Daniel's side chick, and I'm nobody's side chick. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. I said, give her the interview. Yeah. So then she backed up a little bit. She was like, she was supposed to do it, then she made up an excuse, and then made up another excuse. I told her, I said, hey, Anton's coming on the platform on Wednesday. We need to get you before, because otherwise the story's going to die down. You came to me. I didn't come to you. Right? The internet is slaughtering her name right now.
Absolutely.
Now.
But I think it's unjustified because, well, I mean, you know what the internet is, right? First of all, I have to take a little bit of responsibility for that because I'm infamous right now. And it's for a lot of different reasons. One of the reasons I think is because of my political perspective, and that don't sit well with the Black community.
Are you a Trumper?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm Republican, conservative to my heart.
Okay.
And I think that I helped swing the election in Michigan.
Okay.
And because I'm an equal accountability smoke giver, people don't like that. They don't like it when I speak on the degeneracy of the culture. They don't like it when I talk about that. So, you know, I got a lot of people with bullseyes on me, and that's cool. I'm with that.
I mean, but when I see the headlines, I really didn't see any smoke with you until the Corey Holcomb situation blew up.
Yeah, naturally.
And the reason I reached out is because I liked the way that you handled him. You called him bluff on his own show, and he didn't meet you at the back door.
I don't think that Corey Holcomb has been selling an image for a long time.
A long time.
A very, very long time. And even to the point to where he had threatened women, he had threatened people. But see, that's one of the reasons.
Say that again.
He will. He had threatened women, he had threatened a lot of different people.
Okay.
But see, the thing about me is that I come from two different types of backgrounds, right? I was raised in Detroit, Michigan, which is a largely overwhelmingly Black city. It's one of the blackest cities in the United States of America.
Post some wine for you while you
I'm with it.
Keep going.
See, she gonna try to get me tipsy.
Keep
really
going. Try. You're getting tipsy.
But I come from the inner city of Detroit, but then at the same time, thank you, baby.
You know how to taste that?
I don't. I'm new to this.
Okay, so you're gonna swirl
like this,
it,
and
swirl it around, smell it. Get your tongue ready for it, you know.
Okay. I know you the expert.
Yeah, so you smell it, you get it. Okay, now taste it. Let me know how you like it.
It's good.
Okay.
It's really, really good.
We got a good bottle. This is the California Traditions Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, 12% alcohol, and it's fresh blackberry and juicy dark fruit and lemon.
Is that you?
No, mine comes out. Well, mine is out, but it's not on the market yet. We have our own wine.
That's really good.
Islaya. And it is a sparkling wine. So it breathes like a champagne, but tastes like a wine. So
you're trying to make me be more sophisticated.
Yeah, this is the upper echelon shit.
All right, I gotta raise my standards.
I could get some Still Reserve Coors Light. Cheers. I'm gonna drink with you. Cheers. With you. Yeah. All right. Cool. So, as you were saying with Corey Holcomb,
but because I'm from the inner city of Detroit, it's a little bit different for me. So, and I'm sure we're gonna get there, but I was raised in the inner city, but I wasn't raised to be a thug. I had both parents in my household. I was raised in a church, but it didn't mean that I didn't see and I wasn't raised around my brother. I got 3 brothers, no sisters. 2 older brothers, 6 and 7 years older than me. So I come from an environment where we still had to survive, right? We still had to figure it out, but we had a great foundation. So anybody that I've ever seen that come from the hood, real people, no matter how deep you in it, nobody want to be in the hood for the rest of their life, right? So that's the goal, is to get out of the hood. It's to get out of in most instances, it's to get out of those certain environments. So I was the kid in my family that was like, yo, Anton is going to be something. We got to make sure that we protect him. We got to make sure he don't get caught up in the nonsense. So even when I was in middle school, when I started getting caught up, my parents sent me to private school for 7th and 8th grade, and then I went back to public school in high school, and I went to Cass Tech. So it's one of the most prominent schools in Detroit, public schools. So I come from an environment where you fight if you have to, but that's not something that you look for. Do you know what I'm saying? So when I pulled up to his show, first of all, I talked to him on the phone. Well, let me back up a little bit. He had been asking me to come on the show for a long time. Like more than a month and a half, 2 months before I even got in contact with him. Okay. So I sent him a DM and then I sent him a super chat and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be over on the West Coast. Let's go ahead and do it then, because I prefer to do it in person. I don't want to do no live streams. So he hit me up through some mutual people that we know together. And he was like, let's do it. I know we got opposing views. I hope you're not recording this phone call. All of this, well, because he was throwing certain people under the bus, right? Right. So he threw Dave Chappelle under the bus. Tommy Sotomayor, he told me that don't ever mess with him because he a snake. So he's telling me all of this stuff, right? And of course I didn't record it because I don't record phone calls. I think that that's female behavior. But he was like, yo, we gonna have a dynamic show because we on completely different views and we might clash. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I get out there. And Mika, she was supposed to be signing to me, right? She was supposed to be signing to me as a content creator because we create content on one of my channels. I help her out or whatever. And so I was supposed to be, she's one of my people. I'm starting a new company and all of that. So I told her, I said, listen, I was supposed to do No Jumper and I was supposed to do the Corey Holcomb. That's why I was on the West Coast. I was going to knock them out at the same time. So I told her, I said, listen, I'm going to bring you out and hopefully I can get you, I'm going to get you some visibility. And then that'll help you, get your platform more visibility. And that way you won't just depend on me. You'll be able to jump off on your own, right? So I brought her off. Adam, 22, he wound up not being able to do it. I guess he had a fight, his boxing match or whatever. So he said, yo, let's reschedule. And then we was going to do the Corey Holcomb thing. So they gave me a time, got out there on time. Actually, I was a little bit early. I was like 5-10 minutes early. He shows up a half hour, 45 minutes later to his own thing. In the meantime, I have an opportunity to see everything, kick it with Darlene, kick it with everybody that's on the show. I tell Mika, I said, listen, I'm going to talk to Corey, which that's my fault, right? Because I talked to his people and they was like, well, we going to talk to Corey and ask him if she can be visible on the platform since he asked you to be here. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's just come out here and let's just chill. Mika flew out the day before because I was already out in LA. So she came out the day before because No Jumper got canceled, so it wasn't no point in her being out there. And, I asked Corey beforehand, I'm like, yo, is it cool that she be on the platform? And he was like, we'll see, whatever, so on and so forth. But either way, I was going to respect his opinion because it's his platform and I'm a guest on his platform. So I told Mika, I said, yo, just chill. I had, security there or whatever. Just chill. If it happened, it happened. If it don't, it don't. Sometimes you take risks, sometimes it work out, sometimes it don't. So Mika was like, cool, I ain't tripping about it. And then everything played out the way that it played out. So. Do
you feel like
But I think he a hoe for that though.
Do you feel like he set you up for views?
Well, he thought that's the reason why I gave you the backstory of where I was from is because he thinks that just because I'm a family man, I don't have no children out of wedlock, I advocate for people to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? All of that type of stuff. He took it for weakness. And so a lot of people don't even realize if you go back and you replay it, he disrespected me first. He said, yo, you kiss white people ass, or you kiss the ass of white men. And then that's when it jumped off. And that's when I was like, oh, you suck the black people then. So he thought.
Okay, because I only saw your part. I didn't miss that. Because
go back and watch it. It was cool. First of all, he was late, whatever, so on and so forth. He didn't trip or none of that. And then when we start having conversations and we start getting into it, he started getting in over his head because he can't actually articulate a point or debate anything, right?
Without saying bitch,
nigga. Yeah. So he caters to the lowest common denominator of people that don't know anything. So I don't think he knew what he was getting himself into. And when it started getting over his head and then he started getting disrespectful, that's when I had to, I'm okay, let's get disrespectful then. Is that what we doing? Then he like, let's move the chairs. He made Darlene get out of the chair. He gonna come up, which where I'm from, we not about the, I don't give a about none of that. Like either you gonna do something or you not. So the minute that he got out of the chair and then he sat down, I'm like, oh, he pumped Kool-Aid. He not really like that. All of that, I'm from Chicago and he just a comedian. He a tough guy on camera, but he not real in real life. You know what I'm saying? And when you say, and so we going back and forth. And my biggest thing was YouTube don't like fighting. So I still respected his platform. I told him, I said, I'm gonna respect your platform. Even in the midst of all of it, I said, I'm gonna respect your platform. Cause he can get demonetized, he can get his platform removed. Cause y'all were live. Yeah, it was live. It was in real time. And so after he kept on barking, I'm like, well, listen, we can just go out back. This don't have to be on the internet. You got up so fast, put the chair back in. It was like, let's. And you know what he did? He turned around and he sat down. He sat down. Oh, no, I ain't. So at the end of the day, and it's not even about, for me, where I'm from, it's not about winning and losing. It's about if that's what you really want to do, then we can shoot a fair one. At the end of it, we ain't got to do it in front of no cameras. All of this internet talk and all of that, we ain't got to do none of that. We can just go out back and figure it out. And the fade is still available if he wants it. No, that's the honest to God truth. Can we get the boxing match set up in Miami? If he wants to get his diabetic ass out here, and that's on everything. All of this talking on the internet, we know he cracked jokes because that's a defense mechanism. Corey Holcomb is see, people don't have thank God we don't have the internet from before, right? Because Corey Holcomb is the funny. He the dude that was in class, that was the class clown because it was a defense mechanism because he wasn't really that dude, right? So he was able to craft this image beautifully, beautiful image that he crafted for the internet and for the audience in order to make it seem like he a tough guy. But when you face to face with a man, we can really sense what's really going on, right? So all of that tough talk, see, he'll punch a woman in the face. He'll never do that to a man. We got the receipts on that. He'll never do that to a man, ever. I don't think he's ever done that to a man. See, I'm not and that's the beautiful thing. Yeah. See, I'm not the tough guy, which means that I'm just responding. But the fade is still on deck if that's what he want to do. And we can get it in. We can do it on camera, off camera. We can put I host it? Hold on. Let me do you one better. I'll do you one better. What's up? For every half amount that he put up, I'll double it. So we got money on this. So if he put up 100, I'll put up 2. I think Corey broke. He ain't got no money. What are you talking about? I think he broke. I talked to his baby mama and his ex-wife. He hiding money from them right now because he on that white bitch, the porn star. I don't think he had money. I think he broke. No, but the little that he do make, he's sending it outside of the U.S. and he ain't been paying taxes. We looked it up. But I whatever it is that he put up. He goes against everything that you stand for. Being able to pay your equal share. You're an upstanding citizen. You pay your taxes. I don't know why. You ain't got no child support. He couldn't even pay his baby mama
He got on the internet, started calling the baby mama and the daughter bitches and telling them they need to get their life together over a $150 increase to child support.
I didn't know that.
Which made it $20. Did you listen to the audio?
I listened to it, but see, that was after the incident had already happened.
Bro.
I went and did some research, right? But I didn't know that he was completely disrespectful towards his own people, his own children. And that was my one miscalculation because, well, first of all,
he ain't got nothing to lose.
Well, let me rewind it for you, Tasha. So then he knows that Mika is there in order to try to, get some visibility for the platform and all of that stuff.
What are you trying to do with Mika?
Oh, he can't stop. But it's funny because my wife and Mika is cool. They friends in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no secret. It ain't nothing. I told him, hey, can I bring her on a platform? So why would we look at it from a perspective of, oh man, he's hiding this chick? If I ask you, can she come on a platform? It don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? But he did what some sucker dudes do. Now, I understand it from your perspective, right? If you a woman or you a woman with a platform, you just want to get the story out. You want to get the tea, all of that stuff. But guys ain't supposed to do that type of shit. We not supposed to, oh man, that's why what the is that? So you want to ruin, he don't know, but he want to try to ruin families, ruin relationships. Real dudes don't do that type of stuff. That's how I know he a hoe. That's how I know he a hoe, is because dudes we don't move like that. No matter what you do, it's between me and you. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else in there. But see, he catered to the lowest denominator, and then he wound up putting my daughter on the internet, who's underage. That's the one miscalculation that I made, is that he put my daughter on the internet. And I don't care what you say about me. None of that matters. But see, when you come from my underage daughter, now what's up? Are you handling that? Absolutely. Okay. 100%. Okay. Crossing all T's, dotting all I's. Absolutely. I'm not going to let that go. I'm never going. You could say whatever. We could figure it out between us. But when you put my family in it, I'm never, ever, ever going to let that go.
And you didn't even go that far. So I do want to put that out. Like, you didn't go as far as pulling family.
I don't do that.
Trying to.
I'm still not going to do that.
Put side bitches on him. You literally addressed the issue.
He introduced me to his girl in the studio.
You got to tell me who that bitch is.
I can't.
The wife can.
But you know what? I can't, because that's man code.
I get it.
I just can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
I'll talk to the missus. Don't worry. We'll have some wife.
But I can't, because it's man code. I just don't.
I just want to know what type of bitch laying up with him. What type of woman are you to lay up with a man who is literally on camera punching another woman in the face? What type of person are you to lay up with a man who calls his daughter, who is damn near a nurse practitioner, and says she needs to get her life together? This bitch over $200 worth of child support and has disowned her because of her mother holding him accountable to take care of her.
I will never, ever, ever. I've been married for 21 years. I will never let my girl's feet hit the ground. My girl ain't worked in 18 years.
As I said, what type of bitch is laying up with a bitch playing in his ass? Because the wife told me the reason she filed for divorce is because she allegedly refused to put fingers in that ass, but that white bitch who was a porn star did. And so for you to lay up with him and she black, bitch.
Well, maybe that's why every show he got to talk about the backdooria and gayness. Maybe that's why he's so easily offended by it.
I think, honestly, he's DL and hates it. You think so? Yeah, I do. I think he really, the way he loves on men and respects y'all and never hits y'all, but he'll put his hands on a woman, shows that he just loves men more than he loves women. And the way he just talk about his own daughter and...
Well, women can sense that a little bit better than
we can. We know a faggot when we see one. We know one. Corey, you little hairy ass faggot, you. Listen.
I don't
I don't fuck with her. He
I didn't know y'all had...
Because I take it personal when, first of all, you would think the way he was talking about his daughter was like some bitch on the street that just got 3-4 kids. She got baby daddies.
You know what? I never did no research on his family because I never include the family.
Citizens.
I can't do that.
Teachers.
I will go at a person that's a public figure all day long. I can't go after the kids.
The child's mother, as well as the wife. The wife almost lost her baby due to the stress that Corey put her through. He was putting hands on her, according to her. He was beating her ass, keeping money from her, would punish her, like, I'll get you this.
What do you mean?
Like, he would say, I'm gonna get you a gift, but if she does something wrong, I'm not getting it for you. Like, he would wave his money in the air, then use her as content at his shows, use his entire family as. So to me, like, I'm like, okay, Corey, this is the issue that I have with Corey, is that you have fame. You have fame. Whether it's good fame or bad fame, you have fame. Yeah. So why, if you're up here, do you continue to go down here to bring people who are not where you are?
Because his shows is a reflection of his life.
I know, but you would think that the people that he's talking about are terrible people. They're not.
Yeah, but it's painted through the eyes of a monster, though.
Narcissist.
It's painted through the eyes of a monster. So his vision and his view of life is completely different from the reality, right? He sees everybody else as the problem, right? The girl that he hit is her fault. Yeah. Right? And here's the other part about it.
That's a narcissist.
Yeah. Though. And he has a bunch of people that is trying to get some visibility, and they reaffirm it, right? It's confirmation bias. They're basically enabling the bad behavior, and they're continuing to build up the monster. I told him that on the show. I said, you don't have nobody to hold you accountable.
You don't have nobody that loves. I don't think he has anybody that truly loves him, because anybody that.
But if they loved you, they would hold you accountable, right? They would hold
you accountable,
right?
And so for Corey, like, I've had people try to bring us. Please, you got to talk to him. Please, you got to talk to him. And I'm like, why do I need to talk to him?
Oh, Corey?
Yeah.
I don't believe in peace. I believe you destroy completely.
I do not know what we would talk about.
I believe that this is the part that they mad at me about. Because he got to run my husband a
fade first, because
he never
of all the shit he said. So, like, if you apologize to him, like I told Whack 100, and Whack 100 issued that apology, but I still didn't grant him the platform when he asked and wanted to pay me to sit down. I said, sir, you have to first apologize to my husband for saying that you me.
Yeah.
And second of all,
did he say that?
Yeah, he said that. He said that me and Tasha, I've never met this man in my life. Never seen him.
That's crazy.
And then I thank God for Adam 22. Adam 22 was like, when he said that, I called him a liar right there. I knew he didn't. Yeah. Because he got upset because his girlfriend reached out to me.
I don't understand that either, though.
Yeah.
I don't understand guys that pillow talk.
Even if it's a pillow talk.
If, let's say hypothetically, it's 100% true, Tasha.
Right.
I don't respect guys that name names of the women that they had relationships with.
I guess he thought that, I don't know, that would somehow damage my credibility, but luckily for my viewers, they were like, if Tasha fucked you, she would have told us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I don't respect that. I don't respect guys that clout chase and name names of women, hypothetically. Yeah. Knowing, because obviously we both know that he didn't. But I don't respect that either.
I get it, but that's what they do. They will say any and everything to grab, whether it's good attention or bad attention, and not understanding if you already got the public's attention.
Right.
Use it to do good.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Do you understand?
It's not gonna happen. You can forget it. That's not a thing. Everybody is clout chasing. The guys is worse than the girls.
I'm watching what's going down.
The guys are 10 times worse.
I'm watching Tony the Closer, and they send me his clips, and I'm like, he got me blocked up over there. One day he'll have me blocked, next day, but the way he be going in crying.
I thought y'all was supposed to be cool.
No, that's a whole nother story. I have to tell you that when you interview me.
All right,
what
cool.
happened?
I got
you. As far as that, but like I'm just giving you an example. Like the way I'm seeing the guys move around here, we women, we just sipping our wine, just watching.
Yeah, I think that the guys, especially to have a platform, they 10 times worse than the women. They backbite. They gossip, they plant stories, they lie a lot of times. So I don't have no respect for these people, but that's why I also don't like the culture, because the culture has become a situation where all of the guys are so sassy to where they don't even respect the code no more. They don't respect man code. They don't respect man law. I feel so bad for Mika because she don't deserve none of this. Like, she genuinely is a good person, and she genuinely just want to do content. Mika's content, the majority of it is not even about like relationships. It's about political stuff. Most of the stuff that she talks about is what's happening on a political spectrum. She just so happened to be pretty.
She's a little more than pretty.
Well, yeah, of course, but I'm just saying.
And just to kind of give you some feedback, that's why I asked if she called you.
Well, I usually talk to Mika pretty regularly because, again, she's a part of the platform. You know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of people that create content on one of my channels, and we do panels and all of that stuff. So I just check on people. I'm like, yo, you good? Is everything good?
I got you.
How's your mental and all of that stuff?
So the interview that took place the other night was a very intense interview because I took an approach as I took myself out of the situation. Well, I took Tasha K out of the situation.
You can't take Tasha K out of the situation.
I did.
Did you really?
I did. I took Tasha K out of the situation and I approached her as LaTasha Kibi. I'm a married woman. I've been married 20 years. And I told her to my face. I've never known your
real name.
LaTasha Kibi. LaTasha Transrena Kibi. I know. Transrena means the transfer of love.
Okay.
Yes. So, and I said, I looked at her profile and I said, you do content? She was like, yeah. I said, where's the content? And then she goes, oh, it's on this page. I said, oh, okay. So where did you meet Anton? And then she was like, what? My viewers had told him to reach out to me and he reached out to me. And I was like, well, how many followers did you have at the time? And she says like 1,200. I said, so where was the content that he saw? And she goes, I don't know. Maybe he saw me on TV. I said, well, how did he see you on TV? She was on Fox DC.
She was I guess maybe a correspondent.
Yes. I said, so she was like, maybe he saw the clips that I did in DC. I said, but he's in Detroit. That's local news. Yeah. I said, Mika, do you realize you got pretty privilege?
She does.
I said, do you think Anton, if you were ugly, would have reached out to you?
Hell no.
Thank you.
Absolutely not.
But she played oblivious to this.
Oh.
So that's when I had to get a little, you'll see it. You'll see it because I think it probably will be good. I told her this because I said, well,
I don't want no I'm not interested in having.
No, I got you. But I'm telling you, because you're gonna have to address this because I took it from a wife's standpoint. I'm like, he been married 20 years and I'm pulling up pictures of the wife. I'm like, the wife is nice. And I'm looking at you and I'm like,
you met her in real life.
Mika, yeah, she's gorgeous. And I'm looking at Mika and I'm like, but Mika, baby, all I see on the IG is ass. And she goes, well, I said, so is that your content? And she, no, I haven't heard you talk in any of the clips.
She talk all politics all the time. She's went viral multiple different times.
Do people listen to her?
Absolutely.
Do they get,
listen, Tasha, she is smart as hell.
Okay. She may be smart.
And she know how to talk that talk, but here's the thing. You understand as a content creator that the look also can matter, especially for women, just as much as the content. Okay. It's the reality of the world that we live in.
But when you're too pretty.
What is too pretty? How can you be too pretty?
I could be too pretty. If I was on here with, stomach out, cleavage out, and I'm, there's a way that I can, you would
probably have 3 million instead of.
I doubt it because are they listening to me? Yes, I may have 3 million followers, but do I have impact?
Yes.
So I get so much respect from married men.
Bullshit.
You're speaking from a man's perspective. I got married men that bring their wives to my show to say, I put my wife on you. Mm-hmm. She has to listen. And now the wife is a fan. Mm-hmm. They're not, they may follow me to say, oh yeah, she's attractive. But Mika,
you're a nice looking woman.
I know I'm nice looking, but I don't.
Like people need to meet you in person. You smell good.
Thank you. I don't sell that. I sell my voice. I don't sell ass up over here.
Yeah, but Tasha, you are in a completely different space. Respectfully, You are in a completely different space. Even the type of content that you talk about is completely different than a lot of other people and a lot of other women that are content creators. I don't want to name no names, you know what I'm saying, of different people.
Throw it out
no,
there.
I can't.
Yes.
I can't.
As an example.
As an example.
Okay.
Melanie King. It's a girl named Melanie King.
I know Melanie King. She was friends with, she did content with Kevin Samuels, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Which
yeah,
Kevin Samuels was a really good friend of mine.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
And so Melanie King is an aesthetically pleasing person that a lot of people, and let me tell you how I know.
Okay.
Is because when she had kind of showcased, I had people hitting me up like, Melanie got a guy, Melanie got a guy. When she had eventually kind of showcased that she had a guy in her life, people were hurt about that. People were hurt about that because unfortunately for women and fortunately for women, and you know this is true.
It's not.
It does matter. And the fact that a lot of guys will also tune in. Now, you can put the medicine in the candy, and this is one of the things that I teach the people that's around me is that, listen, the entertainment is important. The visibility is important. But what you want to do is you want to put the medicine in the candy because the thing that's going to keep them is your ability to communicate and your ability to also be entertaining, right? So they may come for one thing because when you meet a person in real life, you don't meet them to say, hey, what is your personality like? Especially men. The first thing that we look at is we look at you and we say, man, she's attractive. I want to go up to her and I want to get to know her. Now, what you do after you hook them in is a completely different conversation. What you do to keep them is a different conversation. But if we don't be naive and say that that doesn't play a role, then I have to say that I disagree with you on that.
But what I'm saying is, but with Mika's content, I see more of the...
On Instagram, you do.
I
but
went
on
to
her
the,
actual
I
YouTube
went to the YouTube channel. She got it darkened up, and I think that kind of plays against her. She does need to brighten up the site because I was looking at it from a content creator standpoint. Like if she was a really want motion, I'm critiquing her now.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
You're beautiful. I like that she does the crop up so you can't really see the bottom.
Right.
You know?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And so you can focus more on what she's saying intellectually. So yes, it does help to be attractive, but there are some not attractive women that dominate out here.
No.
Whoopi Goldberg, bro.
I'm not disagreeing
she is
with
not,
that.
According to men,
But the reason why Whoopi Goldberg
physically attractive.
The reason why Whoopi Goldberg don't count is because Whoopi Goldberg hasn't come out in the social media age and era. Whoopi Goldberg already had equity from the fact that she had existed with credits and she had became visible in the movie scene and all of that way before she ever became a host on The View. She didn't break out. Name me somebody that broke out in the social media era.
That's ugly?
No, I ain't gonna say that's ugly. But we don't check for, because even with you are beautiful. Unlike you.
I know that.
But you're trying to downplay it like, oh, people only check for me for my content. I have to disagree with you about that.
Bro, do you see how I show up on my show?
But it doesn't matter. We know that
I got on the do-rag sometimes, no makeup. Have you watched my content? I don't give a damn.
But you still are naturally beautiful.
Okay, I appreciate
You have a naturally pretty look.
Thank you.
And it matters.
It matters. However, that doesn't keep people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say put the medicine in the candy.
Okay, but I feel that if I was, let's just say, not that attractive physically, and I'm not calling these women ugly. Like, I do not think Whoopi Goldberg is ugly. I'm just going by what society says, because they always try to throw jokes, especially at dark-skinned women. I have been compared to, Whoopi Goldberg, Leslie, who else they call me? Fantasia, like that's a diss. I'm like, that lady is drop dead fucking gorgeous. Like, are you serious? There's just so many people that they will compare me to, and it's to downplay, where you're this, you're that. And I'm like, no.
I'm gonna say something that probably is going, I don't know. I'm gonna say it.
What's up?
When we're stressed out about anything, including debt, there's so many other detriments to our lives, our health, our family, our friends, all can see it on us. And then when you become debt-free, you can start focusing on things that truly make you happy. It really is true happiness. I've had many individuals make up with family members after going through bankruptcy because they don't have the stress. It really changes your mindset, and it allows you to have the freedom, the mental freedom, to take care of what's really important. And I certainly recommend it for everybody because, as we all know, life is too short.
We don't get enough liquid D3. We don't get enough vitamin D. And so I personally have to supplement this particular vitamin D that I travel with all the time, and I make sure that I never run out of, is 10,000 IUs, gluten-free, vegetarian, as a vitamin E and vitamin C base. Okay, and so it's very highly absorbable. There are some fantastic reviews on shoptkdeals.com of women who claim that they couldn't even lift their arms. And by taking vitamin D3, which helps your body to absorb calcium, and the calcium feeds the bones, they can now raise their arms, they're less pain and things like that. I am so excited. This is our part 2 interview. Corey Pritchett, AKA Corey SSG.
Appreciate it. How you doing?
There's been so much going on with you since the last we spoke. It went from you and Carmen going through a very messy, nasty breakup and divorce. You being accused of holding people hostage at gunpoint, kidnapping. All of this happened after a date you went on with one of the girls. It wasn't even a date.
It was just a day out, just having fun, just with a girl I met at the club in Houston.
So what happened with this case that you finally beat, and the whole world had said that you were guilty before you were even given a trial, and said that you had fled because you were guilty to Dubai to get away from charges being pressed on you?
Iconic. I mean, I look at the situation, it was bigger than girls. That was a situation God put me in to get my attention and really sit me down and slow me down in life. Yeah, the girls, they was trying to set me up. There's no other way around it.
After months of planning and negotiating, I am excited to announce that shoptkdeals.com is now extended to you. If you are a creator like myself, or maybe you're just a stay-at-home mom, or maybe you're just someone that just wants to make passive income as well as main income, shoptkdeals.com now offers that invitation to you. So which means you can become an affiliate partner and make anywhere from 30 to 40% on each sale that you make on shoptkdeals.com. Okay? And so listen, I'm excited to work with you guys. I'm excited to train you guys. Not only will I be training you, we'll be hosting webinars, sales calls, and all that to make sure that we're all successful and we keep all of these brands happy. So I want you guys to stop what you're doing now, go on over to the website, shoptkdeals.com, hit join my sales team, and I will see you guys on our sales call, okay?
I'm gonna say something that probably is going, I don't know, I'm gonna say it.
What's up?
It's because you're dark skinned.
I know that. You don't think I know that?
No, but we try to act like that's not a thing on the internet and in society.
Yeah.
Right? The reason why people attack my wife is because she's dark skinned. That plays a huge role.
Your wife bad.
It may not be that's because you get to see who she is in person. So you know what she looked like in real life, right? Mm-hmm. But when I came out, on the social media and in YouTube and all of that stuff, we building a plane as we fly it. So we don't know what we don't know, right? I came out 12, 13 years ago. So all of the different stuff and the evolution of who we are, it manifests itself over to today. Mm-hmm. But if I'd have known, because now over the last 5-6 years, I've been a lot more fiercely protective of my family, right? So I keep my people off the internet. I purposely try to remove my daughter. I don't have her in my videos. I don't have my wife in my videos. I don't have none of them in my videos, right? Because I understand that because people may not like me, that they may go after them, which is exactly what happens with Corey Holcomb, right? Yeah. But my point is that we don't like to have the uncomfortable conversation, and that darker skinned women, regardless of how pretty that they are, because I think that Kelly Rowland is prettier than Beyonce.
My husband says the same shit. Maybe because my husband has a preference for darker skinned women. Some people have a preference for lighter skinned women.
I think all women is beautiful.
Your security is agreeing.
Right? I think that Kelly Rowland is more pretty than Beyonce, right? But It doesn't matter.
Right.
Because as pretty as Kelly Rowland is, she will never, in society's eyes, ever be more desired. Now, there's going to be some people in the comments, no, I'd rather take Kelly Rowland. Listen, looks matter. And your hue matters. Maybe not for guys, but for women, it certainly matters. And darker skinned women, and that's not to say that y'all ever gonna run in the Victim Olympics, but darker skinned women are always going to catch the bad end of the stick. The benefit of the doubt is going to go to the woman that's a lighter skin, that have lighter skin. We have colorism in our own culture.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
So
if I were a dark-skinned woman, and let's just say I was because it happens. I'm seeing it with like, what's the girl name that came behind Megan Thee Stallion? Erica Banks.
Oh, Erica Banks, yeah.
She came, she's a rapper, stripping, you know, she's one of them down chicks.
Yeah, I know she is.
If you just look at her aesthetically and how she's built, her attitude and everything, it's like, I feel that women like that, or like Sukiyana, who is absolutely gorgeous. Mm-hmm. If you've seen her in person, I don't know if you've seen
I've never seen her in person.
Bro, she is so pretty.
I bet you she is.
She has my daughter's skin tone. Mm-hmm. It's just gorgeous. But she does not act that way at home. She is a full-time mother, cooks 3 meals a day.
Most people are.
But if you see the energy that she puts out, but if you see a light-skinned woman who happens to be Latina, BBL, Sukiyana.
Oh, they going.
This is praised. This is, she can't do no wrong. But Sukiyana, this bitch is trash.
Bros, I don't even rock with passport bros. Passport bros don't go to countries where darker women are. They don't. They go to the Dominican Republic. They go to Thailand. Some of them like ladyboys, right? They don't go chasing darker skinned women. As much as we like to say that we pro-black and all of this other bullshit, the reality is that deep down within the culture, we separate the darker skinned women from the lighter skinned women. And a lot of times that plays out in what we define as pretty, cute, ugly, attackable, more masculine, all of that type of stuff. And it don't even have to be true. But by default,
and the short hair. Oh.
Yeah, by default, it's going to come along with it.
I get it.
We say we like natural, but then at the same time, a lot of white women have all of these press-ons inside of their head and all of this stuff inside of their head, and we don't criticize them the same way that we criticize black women that have weave in their head, right? And it's just our natural bias. And I don't know if it's been implanted in us. I don't know if it still lives within us as a generational curse, but our natural bias to be biased towards darker skinned women is a thing. My daughter is under the age of 18 and she catches it. She catches it.
That pissed me off when I saw Corey.
She catches it.
I know.
She is, I'm gonna be honest with you, straight up, she going through it. Like she's straight up going through it right now. She, had dreams and aspirations to be a future Olympian. She have hundreds of medals, you know what I'm saying, from Taekwondo. She's, I don't know what degree black belt that she is, but 2nd degree black belt.
So she can whoop Corey ass too.
Probably. But she's a 2nd degree black belt. She's been doing it since she was like 7 years old. She's been doing it for close to 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? I just flew back from Tulsa from going to one of her competitions. She's traveled the entire world, right? She's been to Japan. She's been to the Dominican Republic. She's been to Croatia. She's been to everywhere, right? All across the United States of America, competed all over. And now she's going through it because some punk ass comedian wanted to put her picture up. And he basically said that she looks like a man primarily because she's a darker skinned woman or a darker skinned little girl. And so now I wrestle with that. You know what I'm saying? I have to wrestle with that because my goal, because I don't have no illegitimate kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no children out of wedlock. I ain't got nobody out here saying, Anton is out here having babies and shit like that. I ain't never lived that life. And so I've always been a family man. I've always been dedicated to the people that surround me. My number one goal with my daughter, and my wife will tell you, is that she can't work. Her goal is to be a child. I've always said that, listen, you don't have the same plight as everybody else. You're never going to have to deal with the same things that we dealt with growing up. Your goal is to be a child as long as possible because you got the rest of your life to deal with being an adult. And so now that veil of protection is gone because a is searching out an underage kid on the internet in order to try to attack me. And you got these degenerate out here that validate it. Oh, you shouldn't have got into a beef with a comedian. What the does that mean? That means you can go and put my daughter, my underage daughter, on the internet and say some wild shit about it? Now she dealing with the shit in school. I had to pull her out of school. Real talk. I had to pull her out of school. She going through it. Straight up going through it.
I know she is. I have a 19-year-old.
It's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? It's really unfortunate. And so, you know.
That's what really made me reach out to you.
I mean,
when I saw him put your baby picture, I said, see, he go with people's kids, with your own kids. But he can't. He can't because his kids is doing better than him.
How do you fight a that don't give a about his own family? Because I value my family. You know what I'm saying? I value my daughter. No woman in my life work. Not my wife's mom. The only time that you can work as a woman that's in my life is if it's a passion project or something that's meaningful to you. But you can't do it for money. You got to do it because you really care about it. My mom don't work. My daughter is not going to be working, right? Not until she get of age to where, because if my daughter decide, hey, I just want to be a wife. I just want to be a housewife for the rest of my life. I'm cool with that. I think that is a phenomenal job. If she just want to be a mother, I don't push my daughter to try to be the most modern person. I teach her morals, character, value, to love God, to be in church. She studies her Bible. She go to Taekwondo. She go to school and she enjoy her life as a young kid. That's it. So it's my job as a man to create the space for the women to truly become women, for them to be able to find themselves and to truly thrive in the space that they in. Rita don't give a about what's going on the internet. Rita don't even look at the internet unless I tell her, hey, listen, I'm about to be on the internet doing this particular thing.
And we're talking about your wife?
Yeah, my wife.
Okay.
She not tripping off of none of this shit. She don't care because she in her own life, in her own bubble with her own Gucci loafers on right over there.
She's a kept woman. Why would she give a
But at the same time, people want her to care because they want to come at me.
I mean, I go through I go through the same thing. You know, there are videos up of Shaq being gay.
I mean, he's just a regular, he a cool dude. I met him, he a cool guy.
He's not an internet guy. He's not this, he's a man of not many words, you know, like they do that because they don't like what we do and they feel like, oh, when you talk about everybody else's family and what they got going on, we should talk about yours. But it's like, but we have limits to what we do and how far we go, you know?
I would never go after somebody.
Child.
I'm never going to post I don't know.
Yeah.
That aggravates me. It honestly does. Like, I don't remember the last time that I was that mad ever in life.
But let me ask you this.
I don't remember the last time that I've ever been that pissed off.
As a content creator, we study the people that we do content on.
Facts.
Did you not think that Corey Holcomb was going to go there? Being that he's went there before or other?
I was prepared for him to come at my wife.
And you didn't mind?
No, I mind, but what am I going to do about that? You know what I'm saying? Because listen, when you went on the show. When I went to the show, I didn't expect for this to happen. You know what I'm saying? I studied him as a person because I was prepared to speak to whatever point that he made because my goal was to ultimately come on top because we had a conversation on the phone where we said that we were going to have an uncomfortable conversation and we was going to clash. So I automatically knew it was going to be about black and white, conservative, Republican, black culture, all of that stuff, right? So I'm already prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for it to turn into a fight, but I'm always prepared to fight. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's the nature of what it is. Did you have security with
you that day?
Yeah, I had one guy with me. I had one guy, and he had a whole studio full of people.
Is that fought on his behalf when he punched Christina in the face?
So when he say shit like, oh, you had security with you, nigga, you had a whole crew of people in there. Don't use that as an excuse of why you wasn't ready to step outside. Because I came to your city and your studio, and I'm comfortable. And then they tried to paint the picture and say, oh, Anton left. He changed his flight, left. And I did a live stream right there in the morning. I was still in LA. Having a good time. Having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm not checking in with nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a tough guy, but I don't like dudes that pretend to be tough guys that's not tough guys. I don't like that shit.
So let me ask you something. So now your wife is a casualty of war.
Yeah.
Now we got Mika being as a casualty of war. And I asked her, I said, Mika, are you married? Is she married?
I can't speak to her situation.
She said, but you knew and you wouldn't mind speaking to it.
Well, I don't know that because I'm taking your word for it.
This interview hasn't aired yet.
But I'm still taking
Hers is going to go out first.
I'm taking your word that she said what she said. I can't speak to her situation.
The thing is, like, I found it very interesting that this husband.
No, but you know why? You know why? Because let's say hypothetically that she has somebody in her life, right? Should they be a casualty of whatever it is?
I get it. And she don't want her husband to be a part of what they got going on.
I didn't say she had a husband. You said that.
She said she had a husband.
Okay.
She did say that. And I said, well, where is this husband? I don't see him nowhere on this Instagram. I don't see anything. I barely see a ring.
A lot of people want to protect their people.
I get that too.
From the internet. And I'm not saying that she got anybody.
Could have shut this down with one. She ain't this. That's it. That's all. Me and Anton cool.
I think it's a lot more.
They're moving on.
It's a lot more complicated than that. And I can't speak to nobody else's situation, but I think it's a lot more complicated than that.
And I also asked her, I said, your husband didn't mind you going to sit courtside with Anton?
Oh, yeah. That's cool. I go to courtside all the time.
Even your wife, she didn't mind. They got y'all on the jumbotron screen. I got the...
Listen, my seats, unfortunately, is courtside right there next to the Pistons bench. It is what it is. So...
Are y'all in an open relationship?
Never. Under no circumstance. Ever.
I'm looking back at her, y'all. That's why
you could ask her.
You know, like, I don't want on camera. You know what I'm saying?
You can ask me anything.
I got you.
There is nobody that has ever touched my wife. Ever.
Okay.
Ever. I've known her since high school, since 9th grade.
So y'all been married
we got married at 22.
Sweethearts.
Okay. I would never let a guy touch her, ever, under no circumstance. Ever.
I get you. What I'm saying is, like, I mean,
why don't you just ask me?
But I love my husband. Like, we'll be married 20 years July this year.
I got you beat.
By 1 year.
It don't matter. I got you beat. It'll be 22 this year for me.
So it'll be 20 years for us. But like, I told Mika straight up, it's not that I'm insecure, right? But you know, where I'm from the South. Y'all are from the North. Mm-hmm. So things are perceived very differently. Mm-hmm. My husband, courtside, and Mika is stacked.
Yeah, she's stacked.
She's gorgeous.
100%.
Ain't no. I told her, I said, you think you gonna bring your little pretty little self around my husband? Bitch, you got me fucked. I told her just like that.
This is a better. The real conversation is why y'all so insecure.
No, it's not. I'm insecure. I was raised that way. I'm not insecure.
What do you mean?
Because my husband.
Listen. This is the way I look at it, Tasha.
Okay.
This is the way honest to God, this is the way I look at it. I look at everything as content.
Could she go courtside with another man?
Who, Rita? She's not a content creator.
Could she?
She's not a content creator.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it matters.
Could she?
It matters.
No, because there's a level to I don't talk about disabled people. I don't talk about kids. I don't talk about misfortunate people that just can't defend themselves. I have a boundary to what I use as content. And I don't play with my marriage as content.
When Mika comes and does anything with me, 9 times out of 10, Rita is there. Like a lot of times when people, like the interview, for example, we did an interview, me and Mika, whatever, so on and so forth. She was there.
I know that, but it's the
most of the time where I travel,
the intimacy. You going
for a courtside seat,
bro? That's considered a date. You have to understand.
Tasha,
okay, as a content creator, Anton. Okay, so this is
we live in a social media era, and you know all visibility.
To agree to disagree.
Is good visibility.
I was just out with Ray J a couple weeks ago for his birthday. We were, being ushered around from club to club. We get to one, yes, Ray J. We get to one club and we're packed to the back and he looks to me and screams, "Man, Tasha, We got this trolling shit on lock. They don't understand what it take to do this. And I'm looking at Ray J. I was like, I don't be trolling.
Yeah.
What are you talking? Like, this is my real personality. I'm like when I asked you and he started crying on my set because he was really drunk. He wasn't sad that I asked that question. He had done took down a whole bottle of Casamigos. The nigga was, you get drunk emotional.
Casamigos is a young chick's drink.
Bro, he came in straight, and then A1 came in. They had some cognac. They started fixing drinks in little glass mason jars like this. So he had 2 of them when he was on the set.
Right.
Then was gone. Feet was ashy. I had to get him to lotion his feet during the interview.
Why you had me look down and see if my feet was out?
You had on shoes, But like, and then when I asked him, I was like, listen, I gotta ask the question that everybody want to know. Do your mama and your sister with you with the way you've been on the internet?
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh shit, he just broke down. He got emotional. But for me, like people would say, oh, that's a troll. I'm like, no, that's really how I am. I'm gonna ask you. Like I'm asking you straight up about the Mistress.
You can ask me anything.
So I feel like there's a method to, yes, creating content. You want the salacious, eye-grabbing stuff, but then there's a boundary. Like I would never ever play with my husband and go out with another man to a basketball game and make it seem like it's a date, because then in public people look, you a simp. What the how you gonna let Tasha K do you like that?
But here, that's the difference between me and you is that I think that all content is good content. I think that you have to look at it from a business. I look at everything from a business perspective. Everything. Let
me ask the wife. Give me a second.
Well, you can't put her on camera.
I ain't gonna put her on camera. Okay. Can I get her voice? Permission to get your voice. Okay, Shaq, I have to move off camera. She cannot be seen, but I'm gonna let her voice be heard. Is that okay? I'm just gonna move this way. All right, cool. He be tripping about me moving. You better sit your ass down. Okay, Miss Rita, you are absolutely gorgeous, by the way. I can tell you ain't worked there 18 years.
No, ma'am.
Damn. That's why I be stressed out and shit. I be working.
She don't work.
Every day. So Miss Rita.
She worked for me.
She works for you? She don't work for you. You work for her. Because she ain't working. You work.
She runs the whole real estate division of what it is that I'm building. We build houses and everything.
You're building or y'all are building?
I own the company. She works with the company. She is my wife, so naturally she's automatically involved. But her responsibilities in the company is to oversee dealing with the contractors. She pull the permits. She work with everybody. She is very smart.
So you don't own the company? It's not 50-50?
It ain't no such thing as 50-50.
Hold on, Lord.
We together. Like, that's my husband, so what's mine is his.
Okay, so but is your name on the company as owner?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm saying to you is, as a content creator, he has amassed a lot of followers, right? 4 channels. Do you feel like he needs to create content in context that would, one, because Mika is being slandered, okay? Yes, it does take 2 content creators to do that. And 2, that would give the image or perception that there's some disrespect going on in your relationship. Don't you feel that Anton is bigger than that and he doesn't need to create content like that? Or is that okay with you?
Honestly, I don't even think about it because I don't follow that type of stuff. I do think that Mika is getting slandered and I don't think that she deserves the slander that she's getting. But as far as the content goes, I don't think about it because I don't care. Like, I don't care what people say about me.
But perception.
And I don't care what people think about me because I know the truth and I know what happens in our marriage, in our relationship, and that's all that matters to me. Like, what people say and think, I could care less.
I get it, but not everybody is built like you. And even certain family, like my husband is Muslim, right? So even me out being on a date with another man or hugging another man, like, you know how you do, I have to do like the side hug. I can't fully engage with another man on a hug just because of his culture and his religion. It's not that he's insecure. It's just the way that, you know, women on this side, men on this side. But for you, I'm saying your husband is very successful. We could both agree, yes, right? Agree. At this point, I don't feel like he needs content creation because obviously you guys have an off platform to where you could still sustain yourselves as millionaires to thrive, right? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like with everything that has happened to Mika, she's a casualty of war. Now she's having to come out here and defend herself, defend her name, protect. Do you feel like maybe they could have not done content like this and it wouldn't have been the repercussions that's going on now, because it does look bad. And that's what I was telling Mika when I interviewed her. When you look from an outsider looking in, and I'm not Tasha K. I'm every woman that's looking at you, looking at Anton. We barely see you. We see her. She's gorgeous. You're at basketball games with him. Can you understand from a person's perspective how they would view that?
Yeah, absolutely. But as far as the content goes, I mean, I don't think that it should have been handled differently, because nobody knew that it was going to get to this, because that's not the idea behind it. Like, that's not what they were going for. That's not what they was doing. And when she went on the show with him, Corey knew that she was coming. So for him to try to flip it like he didn't, that's where the disconnect is, I feel like.
Okay. And it's okay for him to go to basketball games with other women. Because there's one more that I saw. She had a lot of gums. I don't know who she was. Was that your cousin? Who was it? I
thought you was talking to her.
I am talking to her, but I'm just saying there was another. She don't know. She probably don't know who he went to the basketball game with.
She knows every time I go everywhere.
Okay. So there was a lady he went to the basketball game with. When she went to smile on the jumbotron, all I saw was gums, and it was little bitty teeth. And I was just like, when I saw you, I was like, what the f*** is he doing out with it? No disrespect to her. Did you see what I'm doing? This is going to go viral. So what I'm saying is, does he need to do that to create content? Don't you feel like he's talented enough to leave the perceptions of content trolling alone?
But look where it got him. We're here with you because of it.
True. Because I wouldn't have called you unless it was, So
why would we stop?
But now Mika is literally being, for her to have to sit on a platform like mine, I got to tell you, she has some PR training. I got to give it to her, because I went at her every which way to break her. And she didn't break. And then when we broke off the camera, I said, you're doing good. You ready for the big leagues? To sit with me? You ready? Because there was no stone left unturned. And I just feel like a lot of that stuff can be done without to make content. Mm-hmm. And I would have interviewed him anyway. He sat with Charleston White. I would have.
I don't know.
I would have. I didn't even know about Mika until she reached out to me. She reached out to me. I did not reach out to Mika.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was off my radar.
Tasha, I think you don't understand. I have a level of loyalty in my life.
I can tell she's very comfortable.
That's a different.
And you see, I'm in her face.
Yeah, I know.
Smelling like alcohol and everything.
No, you smell delicious.
Thank you.
She's not tripping off of none of this.
It's Valentino, yes.
Rita don't care about none of this.
I'm coming. Give me a second. Look at him, being all husband-like. But okay, no problem. So you're okay. Your marriage is secure. You don't mind him going to basketball games with other women. It's all good.
It's all good.
All right. She's a good woman. Anton, you know how they say it's a good man, Savannah. She's a good man. She's a good woman.
I believe
Anton.
that if guys don't have 100% confidence from their girl, and if they girl is feeling some type of way, then that's the responsibility of the guy before you ever become public to have control over your situation. Right? My chick is unshakable. She not tripping off of none of this, because everything that I was already doing or everything that I got going on, I'm good. I don't have the same problems that other men have. I don't have those problems.
Well, I mean, if you take care of your wife and you're honest, I always tell men this all the time, and we can agree on this. If a man tells a woman the truth, she gonna stay. Because it's about the respect. Don't leave me in the dark. That's why a lot of women have no problem being on the side, because they know more than the wife when they're on the side.
But there's nothing on the side.
I get it. I'm just telling you how forthright we are as women. We can adapt to any situation. My husband comes from a polygamous background.
Really?
His dad, yes. His father has 3 wives. His brother has 2. His other brother has, 2 wives and a baby mama.
So let me ask you a question. So it's cool if I go with the guys to the game.
Yeah.
But it's not cool if I take a girl to the game.
In my opinion, absolutely Not unless you want her ass whoop, Anton.
Why?
You trying to get that bitch ass whoop.
Why?
Because I don't know her. And I don't know her intentions.
But she does know.
I get that. But what I'm saying to you, as a regular woman watching your platform, watching the content coming out, it is viewed as a conservative man who stands on conservative values is being disrespectful to his wife.
I don't really care about what other people think. The only thing that matters is the truth. Now, from a content creation, see, I'm able to separate it. I could separate the content from the real. And the real is that ain't no smut on my name. Ain't nobody that had never said nothing negative about me. I don't owe nobody nothing.
So you've never cheated on your wife?
I've never cheated. Never. That's all. And I'm looking you in your eyes. And I'm telling you, I ain't never cheated.
Okay. Did you have her permission?
That's not even
sleep with anybody else?
Let me tell you what my life philosophy is. No. I'm gonna answer your question, but I want to add the context too, because I answered it first and saying that I ain't never did nothing out of pocket.
But cheating and having permission, like my father-in-law has the permission of all the women to marry. They have to ask permission to the first wife to get the second wife, second and first wife to get the third.
Well, I'm not from that culture. I'm from here in the United States of America.
So there's an agreement.
There is no agreements. But let me tell you what my life philosophy is. And this is the reason why I say this. I don't have time for hoes. That's the honest to God truth. I come from an environment and a generation where they say MOB is money over bitches all day long. I'm never going to fumble a bag over a woman. Under no circumstances. Never. It's 8,760 hours in a year. That means if I'm not making money with you, if I'm not getting money with you, I have a bunch of women. Literally like 80% of my staff is women. If we not getting money together, it's nothing for us to talk about. If I'm not trying to figure out how it is that we can get a bag together, I don't give a about you. That's just straight up. Because I don't have the capacity to really even spend as much time as I want to spend with my own daughter. So ain't no way in the world that I'm worried about a hoe. Listen, I'm 43 years old. It's plentiful. That's nothing. That's easy. That's easy. I'm rich, I'm successful, and I can do anything that I want to do. I can go anywhere where I want to go. I can buy pretty much anything I want. That's low-hanging fruit. My goal is to figure out how I can generate the most revenue possible, take care of as many families as possible, make sure that the people in my community is straight, and make sure that all of the people that depend on me got a bag. I don't have time to be focused on no hoes. So if we can create content together, or if we can go get some money together, then cool. Then you can be in my sphere. And I'm going to play it up.
But a lot
No. I'm going to play it up. I'm going to sell it for the cameras and all of that. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Prior to me realizing that you actually had a husband here, I was thinking to myself, I might have to flirt with Tasha a little bit.
That would happen though. I'm not that type of person you can flirt with.
Well, I didn't know that, but we was going to figure that out.
Even if I wasn't with my husband, I'm not the type of person you can flirt with.
I have to respect the boundaries that you create because this is your platform. This is the space that you live in. But I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it 1,000 times out of 1,000 times. And my biggest thing is, and what I try to understand from people is, why don't y'all leverage the visibility, even if it's negative visibility, in order to get more, in order to run it up?
I mean,
I look at everything as a marketing opportunity.
I get that, but when we get to certain phases in life, like me, when I first started, I don't know if you're familiar with my early on content. I was ruthless. You
the one that found out about Derrick Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what the problem with Derrick Jackson was?
Full credit.
you know what the problem about Derrick is?
The car seat in the back.
You know what the problem with Derrick was?
What's
that apologized. Why you going on an apology tour? The fuck is you doing, bro?
He went everywhere but here.
He should have came straight to you and kicked it.
And he reached out to us. We had him booked first class flight.
Why did he stop?
He punked out and backed out.
But
I would have been able to have a conversation with him that would have turned the viewers.
Guess what?
Back on his side.
Guess what?
What's up?
The hoes still love Derrick Jackson.
They do.
So what the is he apologizing for? What is he apologizing for? They not going nowhere. That whole Desmond and Christy Scott situation.
Oh yeah, Desmond, he getting clout. They in the DM heavy.
Ain't nobody going nowhere. Cancel culture is over. Unless you say something that's just absolutely egregious towards a specific group or something like that. As far as guys getting canceled for the visibility that comes with this and that ain't going nowhere.
Beyonce just lost 12 million and counting in one day.
Well, I don't know. You know more about that than me. I don't know nothing about it. What's she losing for?
Beside Jay-Z and them Epstein allegations. That we've never seen her drop this. I mean, of course she's gonna be all right, but it's like, I think
that's different. You talking about kids, right?
Yes.
I ain't talking about like,
I got you.
Pedo
But
and kids type of thing. I'm talking about regular, everyday stuff. I think if Derek would have faced me the same way he faced the Breakfast Club when Charlamagne had that whole Jessica Reed situation and he was trying to play the mediator, trying to soften Charlamagne's image, you know, when I came out with the Jessica Reed situation, right? Justice for Jessica Reed. Watch your drinks and watch your kids around Charlamagne. Jesus Christ.
That nigga done tried to sue me a few times. I said, what did I say that was a lie exactly? Oh, you thought this was 2018? Bitch, it's only one and done, okay? Nobody will ever get a lawsuit like that against me again, okay?
He should have came and kicked it with you.
He should have. But the problem is they try to fight me from behind the scenes, and I'm the type of bitch, I get louder.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo.
I think that you are cool.
I am very cool and I'm very reasonable. Just don't come play in my face.
Yeah.
And I come from a culture where molestation was swept under the rug. For me though, I got justice. So they have to understand who they're dealing with. They're not dealing with a person that's just trying to gain clout off their name. Mm-hmm. I was a black girl that was victimized that happened to have aunties that looked out for me. Oh, but then there's a lot of black girls that didn't have their aunties. Looking at Rashona LaFleur, the R. Kelly victim that just rose in at 14. On
CBS.
Exactly. Yeah. 14 years old, Sparkle introduced her. Her dad works for R. Kelly. That's where I'm coming from.
But you're speaking from a completely different perspective.
Exactly. That's why they have to come sit down with me.
Because kids are off limits. But
limits.
Remove the kid part from it.
And we adults, we make adult decisions. And as long as they're consensual adults, and I said this about Diddy, the only thing that Diddy should be locked up for is domestic violence.
I agree.
He shouldn't be locked up for transporting grown-ass men to him and his girl.
I agree.
That is a three-way situation. They are all consenting adults and ain't no
diabolical.
children.
I don't like that.
What?
I don't.
Medical debt is the #1 reason Americans file for bankruptcy, and soon they're going to be reporting on your credit. And usually the medical debt is not your fault. If medical bills are overwhelming you, bankruptcy can stop the collection calls and get rid of the medical debt and allow you to focus on healing instead of worrying about being sued over medical debt. I'm Chad Van Horn, and if you're buried in medical debt, give me a call today and let's find a way out.
We don't get enough liquid D3. We don't get enough vitamin D. And so I personally have to supplement this particular vitamin D that I travel with all the time, and I make sure that I never run out of, is 10,000 IUs, gluten-free, vegetarian, as a vitamin E and vitamin C base. Okay, and so it's very highly absorbable. There are some fantastic reviews on shoptkdeals.com of women who claim that they couldn't even lift their arms. And by taking vitamin D3, which helps your body to absorb calcium, and the calcium feeds the bones, they can now raise their arms, they're less pain and things like that.
You want another truth?
I do.
Kim was the best lover I ever had.
No man is going to marry you because they're never going to think that they're better than Cam. They'll you, but they won't marry you just because you made that statement.
And what you don't have is a good nigga, because the shit that comes out of your mouth is wild. I can't even believe you're a wife. So how dare you?
A normal, healthy-minded, with great self-esteem 40-year-old woman wouldn't have allowed Cam to play with her the way that him and his boys play with you, like you were a dumb bird who didn't understand money or anything like that. He complimented you in the process to gaslight you, but he let his friends who knew you play with you. Where you going? Where's she going? Why she can't see him on her side, Jasmine? Why she can't see him on her side? Where'd you go?
Girl, let me tell you something. Let me tell you the difference between me and when people are gonna step into my platforms. All right?
Okay, all right, cool. I'm listening.
I don't like that.
What?
I don't.
If a grown man is selling his dick.
I'm with the idea that I don't believe that he did anything wrong as far as what he was doing sexually in his own.
Yeah.
If all adults are consenting,
that's his sex life.
I can't.
Right, but he was locked up for transporting prostitutes.
I'm a vanilla type of person.
Exactly.
I don't like that shit.
Yeah, like he was locked up for transporting prostitutes, but Cassie, why she wasn't locked up? She was participating.
No, I agree. I said that too.
But for whooping Cassie's ass, he should have been locked up.
I agree.
That. Yeah.
But they was trying to take him down for, you know what I'm saying? Conspiracy and RICO charges. I didn't agree with that. You can't have
a RICO without an organization.
I didn't agree with that.
At all.
But see, that's another reason why they got mad at me is because I'm very matter of fact. I say what I believe. Right. And I don't mince words just because people say that they disagree with me. I don't give a f.
All I'm saying is,
Tasha, I think you're giving women permission to be insecure.
Why would you
giving
say
women
that?
the permission?
Elaborate.
Because you're giving them this mindset to believe that, first of all, women should not be so possessive over the idea that a man is hanging out with or being with, especially from a business perspective, what a beautiful woman. Because y'all wouldn't give a f if she was ugly.
Yeah, we would.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
No, you wouldn't. You would think, oh, that must be the assistant.
No, men will hit an ugly bitch before they'll hit a pretty bitch.
Yeah, but you're not.
They're a lot easier to hit.
Y'all not insecure about that.
No. I'm serious. Look, I come from.
If I sat courtside with a hideous.
You did. She had nothing but gums in her mouth. No. I don't know who she was.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You may not think.
I don't know
as
what
a
you're
man,
talking about.
That's my point proven. You just proved my point.
No,
I'm telling you. For me, I wouldn't worry about the bitch.
I have people that work for me. I get
you. I get you. But it was too close to call the Jackie, I was like, what the fuck?
It ain't nothing. I got people that work for me. I have a lot of women that work for me.
I get you. But I was like, what the fuck? What type of goddamn concubine shit he running here? Like, I'm literally looking at the videos. I was like, nigga, that's why they slandering these hoes. Like, you putting them in positions to get slandered.
No, not really. Not really.
Anton, but you know the game. You said it's content. You know the game.
For content creators.
The salacious shit and make videos about it.
Yeah, for content creators, though. What we were speaking about specifically was Mika, right? I don't agree with the fact that people are going after her when she didn't do anything wrong. I don't believe that she did anything wrong.
But did you put her in a position?
That's victim blaming.
No, did you put her in a position?
No, that's victim blaming, Tasha.
Anton.
The reason why it's victim blaming is because it wasn't a secret. The whole idea was communicated. He painted a narrative because he was mad because he didn't want to go outside and scrap. And so that's why he said the shit that he was saying. He leveraged his platform to go after her, thinking that it would affect me. And even though it doesn't affect me personally, it affects me because she's a decent person. She's a good person.
She is.
And her goal was to never be on no shit. It was genuine opportunity to try to get more visibility for her platform, right?
She got it.
But you know what I'm saying, Tasha. The whole idea of it is that she's being slandered unjustifiably for some stuff that she didn't even have any control over, and it wasn't, and she didn't do anything wrong. I'm just keeping it 100%.
Here's what I would like to say. I would like to agree to disagree to say that I'm giving women permission to be insecure.
You are.
Where insecurity is a natural human emotion. We get insecure for many things. We get insecure. Insecurity is a natural human emotion. Just like crying is a natural human emotion. Loving someone is a natural human emotion. So is hate. Insecurity is along the lines of that. I feel like that I'm not worthy enough. That's why we have a whole world that works from the time they're able to work until they get older. Your daughter is going through it now, saying that she's not allowed to be insecure.
But she's a child.
Exactly. But she will have
adult women.
No, even adults are still living in their childhood from whatever trauma. That's the difference between my platform and my world. versus your perfect scenario.
But you're giving people permission to be that way instead of telling them that they need to fix their insecurities. You're saying it's okay for you to be insecure because it's normal. I'm saying that you need to get over that shit so that you can have a more fulfilling life. That's the difference between the messages that we're talking about. But some people are not in
a position to even face that.
You're giving them the victim Olympics again.
That's not victim Olympics. We don't live in a black and white world. We live in a gray world. That's why we got Republicans versus Democrats, black versus white, men versus women.
But it's all propaganda.
Somewhere in the middle, we're both right. So what I'm saying is, yes, you come from the situation that a lot of people don't come from. A mom and a dad, suburban life. You had
I was born in it. I was ran up in the city.
I get you, but what I'm saying is, you're not seeing it from other people's perspectives. I live in a very reality-based world that people will feel insecure. I am a black woman who's successful, who is of value, and I love my husband so much that, yes, I get jealous sometimes. I will cuss a bitch out sometimes.
You know why this don't register though?
Why it doesn't register?
It's because you're trying to compare it from your perspective as somebody that's visible.
My perspective? The whole internet is dragging Nico right now, and you're white.
Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
You're a woman, but you're a content creator. You can't relate to regular everyday people because you've been living in the spotlight for a long time. You've been conditioned for this. It's not the same for you versus me as a man and a content creator. And then you want to relate to people that is not a content creator and don't have the level of visibility that you have. And so it doesn't hit the same. I'll give you an example. All right. Because I'm a C student. I like to break it down. That's more digestible.
Please.
If me and you go out and hang out, right? Nobody gonna trip. They may make a thing about it. They may say, oh man, what is Anton and Tasha K out there?
Well, they know I'm married and they know I don't get down like that.
But it doesn't change people from being able to create a narrative because we are both visible, right? We're both visible. It just is what it is. But you now want to compare it to and relate it to somebody that is not visible. So you can't use the same example. You can't use yourself as an example to illustrate this because you don't live a regular life. If you go out as a content creator, it's much different than a regular person going out with another regular person and then them being insecure about it. It's not the same.
Anton.
It's not the same, Tasha.
Take away the content, the lights, the camera, the money. I'm still a woman that will whoop another woman's ass about my motherfucking husband.
But you still can't relate.
I can relate.
You can't relate, Tasha. You so far removed from reality, you don't even realize that you can't relate.
Anton, that is very narcissistic. You
haven't lived a regular life in so long, Tasha.
Anton, you know what?
And I get it. You have to be relatable to your audience.
No.
And so I understand.
No, what you're trying to say is that because the way you take, because we come from very different backgrounds and you've explained more about yourself than I've explained about myself. Mm-hmm. It's easy for you to sit over there and say that. But Anton, I'm not in celebrity circles. I'm not.
What that mean?
And no, what I'm telling you is I don't sit on the phone and parlay with people who have everything and have access to everything. I am very much in it with my family, my friends, and I do reduce myself down to be able to fit in so that I can have the same experiences. Yes, I have opportunities and I have access. However, Anton, just like people have jobs and they lose their jobs, I could lose my job. What if YouTube said today? No. What if YouTube said today, Tasha, we demonetizing your platform? Where does that leave me? Now, will I ever be broke again? Absolutely not, because I know how to make money.
But then that means that you're not regular.
No,
because most people on average
make more money than me.
Stop. Most people on average don't have $1,000 in the case of an emergency. You just told me that will I ever be broke again? Even if one of the main, maybe not your main, but one of your sources of income could be taken away from you. That's not regular.
I get it, but
as much as you try to make listen, you're regular as far as being a person. Meaning that you have feelings,
human being.
Meaning that you got feelings, you deal with things in real life. all of the regular stuff, right? All of the normal, regular people stuff. We gotta eat.
I even shop
sleep.
Regular.
Cool.
Your wife coming here with Gucci on, bitch. I got Fashion Nova.
Nah, you get endorsed by Fashion Nova.
I do not get endorsed by Fashion Nova.
You know what I'm saying?
I had
She
to
probably
pay
got a
for my
deal.
shit. I used the 40% off coupon. They got a 40% off coupon, by the way.
But here's the difference, though, Tasha. You don't have to. And so just because you do it don't mean that you have to. The access and the availability make you irregular, no matter how you frame it, right? I come from the inner city of Detroit. I grew up in the hood. I went to a regular public school. Okay. I went to both places. All of this stuff. I went broke in 2008 and all of this stuff. I'm cognizant enough to understand that I've been living the life that I've been living for a long time to where I don't go to the grocery store and check the prices. I don't even remember the last time I went to the grocery store. And it's not that I'm better than anybody else. It's the fact that I know that I'm not in the same spaces as everybody else. And I have to make a concerted effort the same way that you do in order to bring yourself to a certain space to be relatable to people. And that is why you will never, ever experience life in the same way. You're too far removed. Just because you're not in celebrity circles, you are the celebrity. In a lot of instances, depending on the celebrity, you got way more. They come to you.
They do. However.
So what are we talking about?
But what I'm saying is for you to say, oh, I'm giving women permission to be insecure. I'm giving women permission to be women.
No.
And to feel and to justify their feelings. I didn't say being insecure was right. But what I said was most women, and that's why Mika is getting slandered right now, is because that's how women think. That's how we feel. And a lot of us don't have it, Anton.
It's very difficult.
Our life. Let me finish, because you got on me.
All right, you're
saying,
right.
oh, you here, you don't have to. A lot of women, especially black women, do not have an Anton in their life to lace them in Gucci, and they don't have to work for 18 years. That's not a bad thing. So you have to remove yourself and understand, why would women be insecure or feel insecure or think that you're being disrespectful to your wife by going out in public and having outings with other women? Most women do not get that comfortability, do not have a secure man in their life such as you, without baby mama drama, without the sticking his here and there. So for you to say what you just said to me and discount what you bring to the table, that's very, very, very hypocritical.
I disagree with you, Tasha, and you know better than that. You know better than that. Okay, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Why do men feel more insecure when they talking to or trying to talk to a woman that has more than them?
Because she has more than them.
But why?
He has more. She has
why?
more.
Why would
what can he offer her?
What
can he offer her?
Okay, so what can he offer her, right?
Exactly.
So when he changes her circumstances, right, which is one of the reasons why women date up, when he changes her circumstances, she changes as a person for the person that she with.
A woman having to reduce herself down to the man that she's with that has less than her has to get on his level and rebuild again. Why would I do that? Because men, y'all don't do that. You bring the woman up to your level and do it effortlessly.
But let's
y'all don't care.
But mind it out though, Tasha.
What's up?
When he talks to her, he's operating in a level of insecurity because he doesn't feel like the man that he needs to be in order to fulfill all of her needs. Right? Insecurity is based off of your circumstances, which means that you can't relate in the same way that everybody else relate because you don't have a similar set of circumstances.
I got 20 years and I was with this man broke and we had money. There's a difference.
Wait, look at it though. You proving my point.
Okay, how so? Explain.
Because you just said that you exist in an environment in which you've built up this equity with this person and you understand them and you believe in them because over 20 years you have to have a level of trust in order to still be with them. How many people can say that they got that in today's time?
I don't trust bitches around him though.
How many people can say that they got that in today's time?
I don't know, but I don't trust bitches around my nigga.
You're not answering the question on purpose though, Tasha.
You understand?
You know why?
Why?
Because you know that you're not the same as everybody else. I am an anomaly, right? And I ain't even talking about my finances or anything like that.
I'm an anomaly. I know what you mean.
We're both anomalies in that we've been married for 2 decades. And 2026 as of the recording of this video.
Anton, my husband will tell you for himself, Tasha ain't going no motherfucking well with no nigga, money or not.
Yeah, but you're a woman, so it's different.
But y'all can go out and be trusted.
I believe objectively.
And the only reason you get that permission is because you have money.
Nope, that's not true. It's not true.
Anton.
I'm the same person, no matter what.
If you was broke, I don't think your wife would tolerate half of what.
Bullshit.
I don't think she would.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
And a lot.
Who you think?
Now you're removing yourself from the everyday man.
I've known her since high school. I wasn't talking to her in high school. Who you think told her to hold off and don't give off her virginity to nobody else? She respected me as a man before I ever had any of this shit. But she respected she did what I wanted, she believed in what my vision was for her.
And you're so far removed from the conversation that I'm having is that she was young, y'all were both young. I'm talking about you single now. A woman would tolerate much more bullshit from you than she would from any Joe Doe on the street that don't have nothing to offer her. Yes,
you're framing it as a woman would tolerate. I'm saying that a woman would subject herself to and submit to a greater thing than what she's used to. I don't look at it as a woman tolerating. Y'all frame it that way because you're so used to men getting caught up in bullshit and actually being proven to be a piece of shit.
Well, I'm not used to that
because
I've been married 20 years. I've been off the market.
I'm not talking about your situation. Okay. I'm talking about what we see in the culture, right? We're used to being framed that way, but that's not a reality it's a lot of good guys, but nobody actually speaks to that because when your situation is good, it's like going to a restaurant. Mm-hmm. When you go to a restaurant and you have a great experience, you just have a great experience. Right. People usually don't write reviews unless one or two reasons. One, either they was wronged, then they get on the internet and they want to try to find a reviews. Or if the establishment say, hey, write this good review if you had a great experience, they got to ask you to do it. But our natural inclination is that when we in a great space, we just retreat and we just experience it great.
So are you telling?
So what I'm saying is, it's a lot of people that are having great experiences, and it's a lot of women that have been removed from that insecurity. And instead of us speaking to that, the bigger conversation is always going to be why women are insecure because we're used to the loudest voice in the room being a bad review. You usually don't start having a restaurant go viral unless it's something somebody did that was bad. People look to give a bad review or review it at all when they have a bad experience, unless they're asked to write a good review.
So what you're saying is, because I have the platform that I have, and they are 90% women, okay?
Oh, man.
You know that.
Oh, man.
Yes. Is that
I thought it was like 87.
It's 90. And I should create a space where I uplift the men that are doing right.
No, I'm not saying that. Because I understand content. Okay. And I know you gotta create content.
No. This ain't about content. No, this is about the absolute truth. I live in authenticity. So what I'm saying is, and I take constructive criticism. I'm saying
that you should tell the story of both.
I do. I'm I just did it with Christy and Desmond Scott. I said, yeah, damn, he looked like he ain't had no in a long time. For
women is what I'm saying.
I am. And I said, let me give you an example.
Okay.
Christy and Desmond Scott, I'm seeing women drag this man. But when I see a statement, I love my wife, but I told my wife months ago I wanted to separate. She refused. Now she goes and files for divorce because there's a video now. But I've been said that I did not want to do this. But she decided to hold on for the public image, okay?
Yeah.
Now the entire world of women are dragging him. You're this, you're that. And I'm looking at these comments and I'm like, but they don't have the full story. How could you cheat? Christy is so perfect. I said, she may be perfect, but she may not be perfect for him. Just because they've known each other since they were 14 doesn't give her dominion over him. And she gets to reduce down and not come to him or not satisfy him when he needs satisfaction. Like, you still have a wifely duty regardless of your platform. This is my commentary. And I said, now listen to me. I played the video of him making, I said, that man right there, the way he making out in public, that is a man that ain't had no pussy in a long time,
I seen the video,
bro.
I seen the video.
Because men that are regularly fed, they don't get down like that.
Yeah.
That man, he doesn't care who he's around, what's going on. He went the in. You could tell he was restrained. And as a wife, as a content creator, I'm down there with Earthquake and them in LA, no jumper. We took a break. They got food. My husband don't fix his plate.
Yeah.
I get up and fix my nigga plate.
Why?
Because that's what I love to do.
Okay, well then
I
let's
love
go.
serving my husband. Just because I'm on this platform doesn't mean that I have to ignore my wifely duty. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm a wife first before this. I am a wife. No. Anton.
Tasha.
Anton, you can agree to disagree.
We're gonna have a lot of different conversations.
No, and we can have a lot of different conversations, but I am.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
And look, no, I'm just saying, I am a wife, I am a mother before I am a content creator.
Facts.
Okay? So regardless of how much content we gotta do, that nigga say he hungry, I go get his food. It's not because I have to, it's because I want to.
But the reason why I said why was not because I was disagreeing with the fact that you fix his plate.
Yeah.
Right? The reason that I was saying why is because you have the capacity to choose to do that, or you have the availability to have other people do that for you.
But
what I'm saying
married,
is, Tasha, I don't know why you keep on trying to make yourself to be a regular person. You're not regular. Listen, she can cook every day. She loves to cook. She loves to cook, right? But guess what? I'm not the type of person that want to sit around and watch you cook all day. So I would prefer to go to a 5-star restaurant. And guess what? When we go out, when I have the capacity, because I work so much, we go to 5-star restaurants. But I'm not expecting for her to do a wifely duty just because we're married.
My husband doesn't expect me to do that either.
But you have the choice is all I'm saying. A lot of women don't have that same availability. They don't have the same situation. A lot of guys, a lot of couples, a lot of relationships, they're not in the position that we are in. So when we try to play on the audience sometimes and try to make ourselves more relatable, you're doing that because you're choosing to, not because that is something that you feel obligated to in order to maintain your relationship.
No, I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree in that
Fair
point
enough.
because, and I'm not saying what you're saying is not true. I'm just saying I just disagree with that being in the position that I'm in, because when I look at a Christy Scott and she's way more successful and her husband is successful by default and he's being dragged because the world is perceiving him to be this terrible husband, and how could he cheat on somebody that's so great? I said, well, if she wasn't him,
Yeah.
you can look at that man and tell he wasn't being fucked. You can look at that man, because people thought the motherfucker he was kissing was a man. And they tried to comment on his sexuality. They really did. They tried to come for his sexuality and everything. I said, at the end of the day, y'all could be like Team Christy, oh, I'm this and he's that. But they have 2 children. They have a marriage. They have a family. And they've been together since they were 14. So let's just take our feelings out of the scenario. Would it be safe to say that if I were in Christy's shoes and I know my husband has only been with me since high school.
How old are they now?
27, 28.
Are they still babies?
Right. And my husband has only been with me. He's all I know. And he's got this urge, and I can't put the fire out. If you love him like you say you love him, because you're saying I'm inviting women to be insecure, why not say, hey, let's take a short separation. Baby, go sow your raw oats. Go do what you got to do. Go get it out
now
your
you're
system.
becoming even more unrelatable.
No, I'm not unrelatable. I'm not. You know why? Because my husband and his family taught me that this is possible. It's not because they have money. These are regular, everyday women that are my sister-in-laws.
Do you know why people disagree with you sometimes?
Why do they disagree with me? Tell me.
Because you are more like me in my mindset, whether you want to agree with it or not.
What is that, Anton?
Tasha, you are so unrelatable to your audience. You are describing and painting pictures over and over again. I gotta go and get his plate. Even if I'm this. I gotta do this. I gotta do that.
Yeah, take care of my husband.
Do you know that in today's time that is not the mindset of most women?
Well, that's why
most women say they want partners. They don't say I want a husband. They want a guy or a person where they have equal say-so inside of the household. You are describing a situation where you submit to your husband.
I am a Southern woman and I built a platform on Southern values.
Do you believe that most women think like you?
They should.
No. Do you think that most women think like you?
Coming from where I come from? Yes.
No, Tasha. You're not even being real now.
Because I gotta call you out on your own. I feel that the South has not been given a voice. Think about it. Who from the South has had a platform? Most of the women that are in the talk space come from up north, LA, more
not liberal. Not in the talk space. I'm just talking about regular everyday people.
I'm just telling you. No, I'm telling you what's been visible to women.
Okay.
Southern women haven't been given a voice or a place or a space, especially for a Southern Black woman.
Okay.
I know my position. You understand what I'm saying?
No.
Think about it. Oprah, she's doesn't believe in marriage. Doesn't believe in marriage. Her husband lives in the outhouse.
Okay.
I mean, her long time stepper. Go take that plate. Why is he always in our house? Wendy, it was kind of an equal situation. He was her drug dealer, became her husband. That's that whole situation. He just kept her working. Who else is a Black? Sherry Shepherd, no man. Except for Candace Owens, but her husband is white.
I just seen Keke Palmer do an interview where she said that she don't even ever want to live with a man.
Exactly. So I represent how Southern women think.
Which I don't believe that's the majority of your audience.
But here's the thing. Even if they are New York women, okay, we can agree to disagree on that.
No,
we can agree. We can agree on that because when I do go on tour,
right.
Okay. My Florida, where I'm from, doesn't sell as fast as Northern, Midwest, or LA states.
Why?
Because I feel like Southern women think that I've kind of broken a code. You're supposed to be seen and not heard. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Like I was growing up, you don't cuss in front of people. You don't cuss in front of your man. You don't, some of the same thing I was talking to your wife about. You don't be seen with another man in front of you. Don't disrespect your husband. Because I put these conservative values on display. I come from a background where you grow up, everybody in my family married, you go get married. Then you figure out what you want to do with your life. But the first thing you do is you secure a husband.
Do you think that you catch heat for having conservative values and views?
They've never displayed that.
Tasha.
They've never...
one of the rare circumstances.
They think my husband works for me.
One of the rare circumstances.
Okay.
Because I watch you and I have to pay attention to see what's
Please
going on, right?
Elaborate. Maybe you see something I don't see.
One of the rare circumstances that I've seen people kind of go back and forth at you is when you say that you have a conservative view or conservative values, whether it be your politics or whether or not you displaying it in how you live your life and how you operate within your own relationship. You being conservative is actually against the majority of what our culture, and I would also probably say what your audience advocates for. And I've seen people give you pushback for that.
But if you see there's a difference between being online famous and when you in public, you famous. Mm-hmm. Now I can say without a shadow of doubt, when I'm in public, I'm famous.
Me too.
I'm not saying this. No.
I'm saying that when I go out in real life,
yes,
it's way different than what we experience on the internet.
I've never had anybody come at me sideways, drag me for my views. Mm-hmm. My shows sell the out.
And that's beautiful.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like the amount of love that they show me, to say, online hate, I cannot gauge online hate versus people that spend their hard-earned money.
So why then are you holding me accountable to the standards of what people are saying online?
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is perception is reality, and what you won't see.
No, Tasha.
No. to the average viewer, see, now you're removing yourself. You're forgetting that there are people that work every day, that go to work every day, that watch you, that look up to you for financial advice. Because I know what you do too, Anton. I know as a black man, you are symbolic. Your wife doesn't work. She lives a soft life and she's a dark-skinned woman. Darker than me. Shit. And this coming here with Gucci on, goddamn security, you wouldn't know. She's a kept woman. That is what I come from. I'm a Southern woman. I don't open no motherfucking doors. You understand? I stand beside the door. Somebody gonna open this shit? Cause I'm not moving until the open. You understand? I sat on talk shows where and wigs tried to fight me. And I sat pretty. Cause I knew what nobody finna put their motherfucking hands on me because I'm a goddamn one. I had one security guard, I had my husband and an editor, and I had every other that was in that building beating them asses in them wigs that day. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
I know my position, I know who I am, I know my power. So when you say like, the reason we amass the viewers that we amass is because people are against me. No, they actually with me. They appreciate what I do.
Okay, I'm with you.
I'm not like a Tommy Sotomayor.
But what I'm saying is, and it goes back to my original point and my original perspective, what you display in your relationship is beautiful.
And I display that online.
I'm 100% with you.
Okay.
I have nothing negative to say about that whatsoever. But what I'm saying is, I believe that the majority of women in general, which could also include your audience, have a different perspective of what it is that they think a relationship is supposed to be, which is one of the reasons why they say they want a partner instead of saying they want a husband. They don't
explain the difference.
They don't want a person to be over them. They don't want to have to submit to anybody. They want equal say-so. They want a guy to take care of all of the financial responsibilities, but they still want to have equity into the relationship, right? They want to be able to control themselves and have autonomy to do what they want to do, but at the same time still have the benefits of a relationship. That's not what you're describing. You're describing a truly traditional conservative relationship, regardless of your visibility and what it is that you do for a living. You're saying that this is what I do in order to make sure that I run up a bag, but at the end of the day, I'm still a wife first. Most women won't say that. They'll say, I'm a woman first and respect me as a woman and what it is that I stand for or what my choices are and all of that stuff, and respect my autonomy as a woman. And I don't give that up just because I'm getting into a relationship.
Well, if you were to really watch my platform, you would know, even with the LGBTQ.
No, I rock with you. I'll watch your stuff.
No, I'm saying, and Deb, because you make content, so there's no way you have time to watch everything.
I watch some of your stuff, though.
What I'm saying is, I even tell the women, you can try to act like niggas all you want. But at the end of the day, as my husband would tell them, there's no way you could be masculine when you're a woman. You can try to act masculine, perceive yourself, put on you are still a woman.
I agree.
And physically, I am stronger than you. Okay? And there is a certain dominion that I have over you because I have been given a God-given right to protect you.
Facts.
So for you to say that we here and we're not, if I say pass me that motherfucking brick, climb up, you can't do that. You got to tuck titties.
I agree.
You got to you're not physically able to build. Now, a lot of them are taking testosterone, or some of them may be intersex and they may have both, but for majority of women, he said, Tasha, there's no way a woman, and these are things that, I wish one day somebody would interview my husband outside of me, because they'll be able to get a better perspective on that if he'll do it, you know, but a woman is a woman, and that's all a woman can be, is a woman, whether you're cosplaying or not. And a man is a man, whether you're cosplaying as a woman, you're still a man.
I agree.
And if you call that conservative, that's not conservative. That is biology. That is facts.
I agree. I think that what we define to be modern and liberal is to purposely try to be different and live an alternative lifestyle. And that's not the nature of who we are. I believe, I'll give it to you like this.
What's
right?
up?
What you define as natural, You're naturally a woman. This is how you operate within a relationship, so on and so forth.
This is biology.
Right?
This is facts.
I believe that regardless of what women say that they want, when they get under the right man, they will submit. That they will go to the end of the earth and believe in that guy if he's the person that she truly believes in. That's just natural. That's naturally her. So what I see women saying, and this is going back to the original conversation of what we were saying, and that I think that what we selling a lot of times as a culture as far as insecurity is really just masked in its hurt and its pain and its trauma. But in reality, a real woman or a woman that is in a space of true femininity and she don't have to worry about the same things that other women worry about. She ain't got to worry about student loan debt. She don't have to worry about going to fend for herself, whether or not the lights is going to get cut on, whether or not the children is going to be taken care of, if the dude is actually bringing home the money, or if she don't get no diseases. Then she truly operates in her femininity, and she absolutely will submit regardless of what she say that she want. I think that that is the nature of who we truly are, and we need to spend more time painting the picture of what that looks like instead of allowing women to just feel, because feelings is nothing more than how you feel. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. It doesn't change your perspective. It doesn't change your circumstance. Instead of focusing on how we feel and feeling insecure, we need to also have the conversation on how you get to the place where you need to attract a person that will put you in your femininity.
So do you know by watching my platform that I believe in polygamy?
No, I know you just told me that though. You just told me that as far as what it is. Why? Okay, so wait. Now I'm confused though.
What's up?
So,
because if there's an understanding.
Why do you care about whether or not people do whatever it is that they're going to do if you actually believe in polygamy?
Because if there's an understanding and a contract involved, that's consensual.
What kind of
adults.
contract?
Whatever contract is between you and your significant other. If we're consenting adults and I say to you, like, babe, listen, I love you. Maybe I get to a phase in a relationship where I don't want to, you know what? If you need, we're consensual adults. This is our relationship.
Right.
We're both fending for it. For me to marry a man that comes from a polygamous background.
Facts.
And I respect all of my mothers as such, and he respects all of his mothers as such, because all three of them, all the siblings, they all grew up together in the same house with the three wives. I go there, I greet, hey mom, hey mom, hey mom. My sister-in-laws, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl. I go to different houses. Like, you have to understand, we as women, we know that we overpopulate men. So when I'm looking at facts and science and biology, the reason I tell the LGBTQ, listen, we need to populate. Stop going to sperm banks and getting sperm from white men. You have a black gay man that wants to be your father, but he can't help that maybe somebody turned him gay or he grew gay, but he still wants to be a daddy. It's not going to take away from him being a daddy because he's gay. And you want to be a mother.
We disagree on that one.
I highly...
We on different...
And that's where me and you agree to disagree, because when we look at the black population, it is severely declining because of Planned Parenthood and
I agree with that.
uptick of abortions.
I agree with that.
Chemicals being put in the food, estrogen as one that
I agree.
will feminize a man. And so a lot of these men, of no fault of their own, growing up in poverty, and then the food is high in estrogen, there's chemicals in the water, the air and everything, and it doesn't allow them to develop or make as much testosterone, but that takes away his ability to be a father.
But what takes away...
That's no fault of his own.
I think it's the difference between having kids and being a father.
So a gay man can't be a father?
No.
Anton, that's where me and you gonna agree to disagree.
No, because you have to be the exemplification of what you would want your daughter. Listen.
There are plenty of men out here that have been fathers that are openly gay men that raise heterosexual kids. And half of them will tell you they don't even want their kids to be gay, so they don't put it in their face.
But you have to be you got to be the example of what you would either want your daughter to marry or you would want your son to be like. It's not enough, in my opinion, to say, hey, don't do what I do, just do what I say.
No,
that's not enough.
That's not it. That's not it, because enough. Sexuality, and this is, were you?
No.
Okay, so you can't relate to someone who's been.
I can't.
So if a young boy was introduced to anal orgasm before he got a chance to experience women by no fault of his own. He's supposed to be taken care of by the adults that are around him, and they fail him.
Facts.
Is it his fault? Because sex, and we can both agree, sex over hate is the strongest emotion out there. I would say even sometimes sex is the strongest. That's why they try to get a lot of kids early on, because you can easily train them to go that way.
I agree with you.
So that's somebody that's being taught unintentionally about sex before they're able to understand it, which means their body is already addicted to it before they can logically understand what the emotion is when they get here. But for two parents that happen to be of LGBTQ, and they happen to be, and maybe they were beat or done wrong as children because they weren't protected, it doesn't make them unfit. Sometimes they can be better parents.
I disagree.
When we're stressed out about anything, including debt, there's so many other detriments to our lives, our health, our family, our friends, all can see it on us. And then when you become debt free, you can start focusing on things that truly make you happy. It really is true happiness. I've had many individuals make up with family members after going through bankruptcy because they don't have the stress. It really changes your mindset, and it allows you to have the freedom, the mental freedom, to take care of what's really important. And I certainly recommend it for everybody because, as we all know, life is too short.
We don't get enough liquid D3. We don't get enough vitamin D. And so I personally have to supplement this particular vitamin D that I travel with all the time, and I make sure that I never run out of, is 10,000 IUs gluten-free vegetarian, as a vitamin E and vitamin C base. Okay, and so it's very highly absorbable. There are some fantastic reviews on shoptkdeals.com of women who claim that they couldn't even lift their arms. And by taking vitamin D3, which helps your body to absorb calcium, and the calcium feeds the bones, they can now raise their arms, they're less pain and things like that. I am so excited. This is our part 2 interview. Corey Pritchett, AKA Corey SSG.
Appreciate it. How you doing?
There's been so much going on with you since the last we spoke. It went from you and Carmen going through a very messy, nasty breakup and divorce. You being accused of holding people hostage at gunpoint, kidnapping. All of this happened after a date you went on with one of the girls. It wasn't even a date.
It was just a day out, just having fun, just with a girl I met at the club in Houston.
So what happened with this case that you finally beat, and the whole world had said that you were guilty before you were even given a trial, and said that you had fled because you were guilty to Dubai to get away from charges being pressed on you?
Iconic. I mean, I look at the situation, it was bigger than girls. That was a situation God put me in to get my attention and really sit me down and slow me down in life. Yeah, the girls, they was trying to set me up. There's no other way around it.
It doesn't make them unfit. Sometimes they can be better parents.
I disagree.
I don't disagree. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I was, and
yeah, but you're not gay.
I'm not gay. Should I be gay? Because of what happened to me, a lot of people would say yes, but I'm not gay. I've never had the desire for anything. It made me hypersexual when it came to me wanting to sleep with men. I thought that that's what I was supposed to do when I saw a man, because it was introduced to me early on. I didn't have that, even though he abused me, I didn't know it was abuse until they told me it was abuse, because he never hit me. He never punished me. It was a good feeling at 5 years old. I didn't know the difference. But some of them have that feeling with physical abuse.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that it's a possibility for a child to adopt the lifestyle of their father if their father is homosexual?
Absolutely not.
You don't think that there's a greater possibility for a child to adopt the lifestyle of the person that they're most impacted and influenced by?
Absolutely not. Only if it's intentionally taught to them.
It's unintentionally taught to them through observing their lives. That's why even the word says you have to teach a child, and you have to basically raise them in this admonition, and then it'll never depart from them as they get older.
Exactly.
Right?
So you teach them.
But it's through their observation. Kids learn through watching, not necessarily just what you say. What you say is the reinforcement of it. I'll give you an example. I believe in discipline. belt to ass.
I believe in discipline too. That's ass.
But how do you differentiate the difference between abuse and discipline? It's a rhetorical question.
That is, and it's very confusing.
The reason why the way you differentiate is, are you doing it in love? And then are you doing it because you actually want the kid to get better? Which you then give the lesson along with the discipline to help them to understand why they can't do the thing and why you're disciplining them. And it actually hurts you to do it. Or are you just kicking people's ass because you don't like the person that you're living with and you just want to abuse that person because you're taking it out on them because you don't like their father, right? It's a difference. Two different situations. I'll give you another example. Two different parents can tell a kid, hey, don't steal from the store. One kid is not going to steal from the store because he's afraid of getting in trouble from his parents. The other kid is not going to steal from the store because they've been taught in their household that stealing is bad and you have to be a better person for society. Neither one of those kids are going to steal, but both of them are doing it for different reasons, which is going to impact them when they get older and they become adults. I believe that children learn best by observation. And when they see what's happening, and that's one of the reasons why I think that the culture is trash. When they see what is happening, they are influenced by it. That's why I don't like daycares raising your children. That's why I was more concerned with making sure that she was a stay-at-home mother when we decided to have a child, because I wanted her to input the values into my child through actually watching how I treat their mother when she was being raised, when she was a young child, versus having other values from other people being input into it. And I say that to say, I don't believe that you can exhibit a lifestyle, right? Raising a young child of homosexuality and to think that they don't think that that's going to be normal. Their moral compass is completely off.
They will be
what they believe is right and wrong is going to be completely different. What you describe is basically going to be generational curses and generational trauma that's put into that child in the name of we need to repopulate as a Black culture, right? I don't think Black people are worse off than ever before. Even after we experienced all of the racism and slavery, we had greater households. We had a stronger financial stability. We had less student loans. We were less dependent on the government. We didn't have as many divorces and we didn't have as many baby mamas. In 2026, we're worse off as a culture. We're freer than ever, but we're worse off than ever before. You know why? Because we don't have a moral compass. We don't have strong fathers in the household. So a lot of people making babies, but we don't have strong households. I believe that you have to have strong households. And I just fundamentally am going to stand on that I don't think that gay people should be having and raising children.
So I want to say this in the most respectful manner as I can. I'm operating.
You don't have to preface it. You can just say it.
I'm just saying. I'm operating in my full version of femininity, which is nurture nature. Okay. And it's easy for a man who thinks a certain way and who does things a certain way to write off and say that certain people aren't capable of doing certain things because of maybe they were when they were children, and to say that they can't change. But when you look at science, we can totally reprogram our minds. We can totally reprogram, and people's hearts can, let's just say somebody's heart was beating at a 17%. They can get their heart back up to beating 80, 90%. We can regenerate stem cells. We can become anew every day. In the Bible, if you believe in the Bible, and this is the same Bible you believe in, and you believe that there's grace, we can, you can baptize yourself and be washed of your sins, but will that wash away something that was of no fault of your own when you were a child? And will it take away or negate the fact that you can love and nourish and raise a child in the direction that it should go based off of something that happened to you of no fault of your own? Are you incompetent of doing that? And I feel that if, as a Christian, I'm not a Christian. Let me just get that straight, because this is the issue that I have with Christianity.
I am.
But if you're a true Christian, then we operate in grace. We operate in forgiveness. We operate in starting anew. Baptism. We operate in, what's the word that I'm looking for? I'm not wrong.
We don't have grace.
That's why there's an Old Testament And that's why there's a New Testament. And when Jesus, and listen, I could argue the Bible down because you know why?
Let's do it.
You know why? I was raised in it.
I was too.
My father, my uncles, all of them have churches right now.
Mm-hmm.
My father got scandals, but my uncles don't. You understand? I know, I don't know the scriptures, but I know the word. Do you understand what I'm saying? And what I'm saying to you is when Jesus shed that blood, when he, that made it easier to be able to walk in your sins, to know that you are not going to be perfect. Things are going to happen to you. But because I for you, you're able to ask for forgiveness and try to live righteous as much as you can. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because how do you justify children being innocently murdered, touched, wronged by the adults? So why should they have to pay for the sins of the adult? That's the Old Testament. But the New Testament says, guess what? Him being molested, that's a sin. But he shouldn't carry that sin. Why? Why? Because what?
Listen.
Because Jesus died, right?
But Jesus dying allowed for the comforter to be available to the Jew and the Gentile alike.
Okay.
Right?
Now you gonna get these Zionists up. Go ahead.
It made the comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, available to the Jew and the Gentile alike. You no longer needed an intercessor in order to communicate with God. We could communicate with God through Jesus, and that's why he says, where 2 or 3 is gathered in his name, there he is in the midst of thee. That's why when people pray, if they pray incorrectly, at the end of it, they say, and we ask all of these blessings in Jesus' name, because he is the intercessor, right? Him dying for our sins now made it available to us to not only have a direct connection to God, but it also enabled us and it gave us power through the Holy Ghost to be able to execute on and do the things that we had no power to do before. That's where the spiritual connection comes in, right? So you being forgiven doesn't necessarily change the fact that you still need to do the work.
We're born into sin.
Correct. That's where we get the Holy Ghost. That's where we then tarry before God, right? And then we tarry as the Spirit of God give utterance, speaking in other tongues. And that is the confirmation of you getting the Holy Ghost, right? And then that's where you start to have the journey with God. Then you're washed away from the sins that you were born into, and you have a new empowerment to be able to do some of the greater things that you're able to do, which then lends itself to the idea of at some point you have to become a whole person, because it's not the fault of the person that you're bringing into this world. What your trauma was, that don't mean that you can justify bringing somebody else into this world just because you had trauma. You have to become a whole person before you bring another whole person into this world. And if you really want to raise them up in the admonition of God, you cannot continue to live a lifestyle that would then lend itself to them living in sin, the very sin that we're trying to get away from. Forgiveness is for us. Grace is directly coming from God. We don't have grace to give.
So you don't sin?
Listen, that's not what I'm saying. You're missing what I'm saying, Tasha.
What am I hear everything.
You said that we're supposed to have grace.
Yes.
Grace is from God. That does not come from us. That's not something that we can extend to each other. We forgive because we want to be forgiven. That's why it says, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil, for thine is the kingdom of power and the glory forever, ever in Jesus' name. That's why we pray that prayer, is because we want to be forgiven according to how we forgive other people. The way that you show that you love God is by showing that you love the people on this earth. It's the things that you do for the people that can't do for themselves. It's the way that you treat the people that are directly connected to you. It's how you interact with people on a regular basis.
So you just proved my point.
No, I'm proving my point.
No.
What I'm saying is, if I love my kid that's not even born yet, I'm going to do the work to become the best version of myself before I bring them into this world. I'm not going to justify putting trauma on them by saying that, well, listen, this is what happened to me, so you just got to deal with that shit. I don't believe in that, Tasha. I believe that that is why the culture continues to do the thing that they do, because listen, Tasha, they're using Jesus dying and forgiveness as an excuse to continue to do the diabolical shit that they're doing and still bringing kids into this world.
That's not what I'm saying. I think you missed
Tasha,
what I'm saying is,
the foundation was us saying that should people that live a alternative lifestyle be able to have children?
Yes.
And I say no.
I say yes, because love is love.
I think that you're wrong about that. No, love is an action word. It's not a feeling.
No, love is, for men, it's an action.
For people, it's an action.
No, for men, it's an action. For women, it's a feeling. See, you're trying to speak from a feminine standpoint, and you're operating in total masculinity right now.
I'm speaking from a spiritual standpoint.
Because you're writing off pretty much 80% of the world.
No, I'm speaking based off of what the word says. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He had to do an action physically in order to allow for us to get the comforter. He gave his son in physical flesh because he loved us.
Anton.
It is an action word. Okay. It is not a feeling.
Okay. So let me back up just a little bit. And this is why let me see if I can hit you at this angle. And I'm not trying to get you to.
I'm with it.
All right.
I'm open.
What I'm saying is that's based on what you were raised, what you believe in, what makes you a whole man. Mm-hmm. And you're speaking on a Bible that people in rural areas, as in South America, even some regions of Africa and Asia, cannot and have not had. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like there are, and I know you're well-traveled and I'm well-traveled, and I've been into the villages where they speak languages that are mm-hmm. They don't read. So if the Bible says this and you believe that Bible,
with everything I got in me.
With everything you got in you. Do you discount someone who grew up in a region and is still in that region and knew nothing about a Bible whatsoever, but yet they are granted even sometimes longer lives than we have? They're living into their 100s. We barely make it to 70 or 80 in Armageddon over here in the United States of America. So what I'm saying to you is you're operating in a black or white spectrum, and you're not considering the gray. And I feel like as a woman, me operating in my full femininity mm-hmm. and me assuming my position as being submissive to you right now to say that you're right. But baby, as a woman, I'm gonna say, but baby, look at it this way. Not everybody has access to those resources. You
know what the words say about being in a gray area?
What does the word say?
It says, either be hot or cold, because if you are operating in that gray area of being lukewarm, he spits you out of his mouth. He hates in the gray area. Life is black and white according to the word.
Anton.
I'm telling you, Tasha.
Okay, Anton, I'm just asking you to just.
I'm with you. No, I'm understanding you.
I got you.
But see, what I think
what about people that never had access to the word of God?
That's why we have disciples. That's why we have apostles. Listen. That's why we have evangelists. That's why people travel the world to spread the gospel.
So God put these people here first, but he said in the beginning was the word. But God put people here first and gave them the word second?
No, the word is a living word. Jesus himself was the manifestation of it.
Okay,
the word of God.
There are people in areas that have never even heard of a Jesus. Mm-hmm. Does that make them less of a people to be able to raise in whatever situation they're in?
Every knee has to bow, and everybody has to at some point.
And they may bow to the earth, they may bow to the sun, they may bow to the trees.
Now we get into a deeper conversation about Revelations and Jesus coming back and what it is what grace really means and so on and so forth. So I'm not going to get too far into that because
that's what I'm saying. But you're trying to rope it together as a black or white situation, and I'm like, Anton, life doesn't work like that.
What's happening is you're trying to justify people that live an alternative lifestyle being able to have children, and you're trying to use
polygamy is an alternative lifestyle.
You're trying to use an example. You're trying to use an outside example in order to prove me wrong, and that these people can still raise children up in the admonition of God without doing the work on themselves.
So why do we have more men in the world than women?
That's not true.
That is very true.
Look it up.
I have looked it up.
It's literally an equal amount of men and women on this earth in the United States of America. In the United States of America, there is a disproportionate amount of women versus men. In the Black community, there are more women than men, especially when you consider the amount of men that are in prison, the amount of men that are down low, that live alternative lifestyle. If you look it up, I look it up, I teach it on a regular basis. All you got to do is Google. You got your phone right there. There are it's almost a 1-to-1 of the amount of men to women on this earth.
Let's take it out of the U.S. Let's talk about the China study when they were finding, they implemented a 2-child law. And the reason being is because they were trying to depopulate females because they were having way too many females.
Correct.
Okay. And so if you had a female child, you either had to abort that child because it was creating a disproportionate amount of women to men because people were naturally and have naturally for centuries giving birth to more females than men so that guess what? We can populate and y'all can spread y'all.
That's not true.
Seed.
You're talking about a China, and you got to consider the era in which that happened. You're talking about the industrialization of China. Also, you have to factor in that the United States of America, as well as other countries, were basically offloading physical labor over to China in order to try to prop up the profitability of the companies here in the United States of America. That's why you have factories going over to China. That's why you had all of these, because they can manufacture it cheaper. So they needed more physical labor. They didn't need the same thing that we need in a technological era. So in the industrialization era, they needed more men to be able to take care of their elders, to take care of the farms, to ensure that they can pass on their genes, and to ensure that they continue to take care of their villages. And that is one of the reasons why, not just because there were more female children, but they instituted a 1-child thing because they were overpopulated. It was too many people in China, especially during the industrialization age. So that is why in most cultures, they prefer to have a male child versus a female child. But now that we've civilized the world and we've become more technologically savvy to where we don't need as much physical labor and we have machines, we have AI, we have robotics, we have all of that other type of stuff, women now can exist in an environment that is conducive for them to be able to survive because we don't need as much physical hunter-gatherer type of mentality in order for us to be able to thrive, especially in rural China. You're talking about where they speak Cantonese. See, I studied Chinese. I studied their culture. I speak Mandarin, right? So
speak some Mandarin right now. Let me hear you say.
Ni Kui Shua Potong Kwa Ma?
I don't know what the you just said, but
Kui Shua ADR Potong Kwa.
Okay.
But I understand their culture. Now we have Shanghai. Now we have Beijing. Now we have major cities. Now we have the technological race, AI chips, all of this type of stuff, right? You're talking about a country who was at war, right? And you're talking about a country that is trying to transform itself in order to compete with America and become a superpower, right? So all of these rural places that exist outside of China was where they had the majority of their population. So they had to make a decision, especially considering that in poor societies, they have the most children. If you go over to India,
yeah, I know that.
They have more children than ever before. If you go over to Brazil, right, they have a whole lot of children. In poor populations, they tend to populate the earth more versus people that have resources and are more educated. They tend to take a more practical approach to making sure that they have children. I guess because I'm not trying to negate what you're saying, and you did make some valid points there. What I'm saying is, from a feminine standpoint, is that when a person loves, because men, you said love is an action to you, but for a woman, love is action, it's feeling, it's intuition, it's energy. I do not feel that a person that lives the same-sex lifestyle can love less than a person who lives in a heterosexual lifestyle, because we all can go through and experience the same things. We all have trauma. We all sin. We all come from different backgrounds. Some of us are privileged, some of them are not. And that doesn't make them less than a person to be capable of raising a child, because a heterosexual person can have just as much trauma as someone in the LGBTQ. Now, if we're basing it on the word of God, which I feel like a lot of people do not have access to the word of God, then that is your lifestyle. And that to me is very compartmentalized. And those are your beliefs, and you're totally, that is your right to have those. And I'm not negating your beliefs and what has,
been profound in your life. But for a lot of people that do not have access to the same information or the same people or the same backgrounds of no fault of their own, you know, we got child soldiers, you know, that are bred. Like I just have to relate to the people who are unfortunately casualties of war, and that they have the ability to change because every day that we wake up is made anew.
Well, bring it back to the United States of America. How many of us are actually experiencing that?
I experience that every day. It's just a choice that we want to make.
No. Because some people are subjected to something, but other people are making a choice. And over here in the United States of America, we are not limited in the amount of Bibles that's being sold. We are not minimizing the fact that people are making choices every single day to go different than what it was that they were taught, or that our moral compass has been compromised because we have been living an alternative lifestyle. I believe that you have a duty, you have an obligation, if you're bringing this child into this world, to be the example of what you would want your child to marry or you would want your child to be like. And I don't believe you can do that by living a gay lifestyle.
Aren't they, and let's just say, because like I said, the statistics show, and I know kids that were born and raised by gay mothers or gay men. These are straight kids. They don't have...
Statistics show that relationships have the highest divorce rate. Tasha, you know this.
Can they be divorced? Because is marriage really legal for them? If we're really talking about it.
Statistics also show that the kids that have the greatest opportunity to become successful, to make the most money, less likely to go to jail, less likely to need therapy, less likely to join a gang, are children that are raised in two-parent households that are married in heterosexual relationships. But that is a fact. That's not my opinion. So
you ever seen the families where they have about 5 or maybe 2 kids, and one kid does great and the other does, but they had the exact same upbringing, but you can't help that you got a Jeffrey Dahmer up in there. You don't know what the is going on. Nobody can know what they're raising until it's raised. And I feel like you live in a very boxed world, and that's okay. Because
I'm just black and white.
Because of your money and your status.
This has nothing to do with money and status.
Yes, it does.
No, Tasha, I was raised in a household where we didn't have a lot of resources. I don't come from money.
You had resources that most black people don't even get. A mama and a daddy under the same roof, right?
But that's a problem. You know why that's a problem?
What's up?
It's because we normalize that that's what most people should experience.
No.
That's the whole conversation that we having right now. I don't think that it should be normal for us to be raising children in broken households. I don't think that it's normal for us to be raising children in alternative households. I don't believe that should be our normal, but we embrace it. That's why I hate the culture. I hate this shit.
Do you know why children can go off and they can have you ever talked to a child of a crackhead mother?
I was raised...
Don't say you was raised by a crackhead mama now.
I was raised listen, my parents were the type of parents that took in the kids from the neighborhood whose mothers and fathers was crackheads.
And they love their parents, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
That's a lie.
They didn't. They hated their environment. That's why they called them.
But they still love their parents.
I can't say that. I can't say that, Tasha.
If you ask them, see, these are the people that I sit with every day.
Then how come they hated going home at night?
Because they wanted their circumstances to be better. But guess what? It doesn't negate the love that they get from their parents.
That's not love. That's trauma bonding.
It's not trauma bonding.
That's not love, Tasha.
Because here's the thing. They can leave their parents and go off and live with parents such as yours and want the ideal situation. I wish my mom and dad lived like this because they want it with them. But it still is not going to make them hate their parents. That's why they can easily attach to people that are not them and love them. So it doesn't negate the fact that you ain't even got to birth a child to love them.
That's not love, Tasha.
That is love.
That's not love.
You're speaking from a masculine point of view. You're not a woman. You don't carry babies, so you really, truly don't know.
But we should not.
What love is until you sacrifice your body to bring somebody else's body into this earth. And as a masculine man, you cannot sit up here on my platform and say you know love when you've never birthed a child.
Listen, what I'm saying is, we cannot continue to give over into this feminine mindset Because that is the thing that is breaking our community.
Femininity saves lives.
Femininity
we have less
ruins
wars,
households.
and if we look at the
No,
Egyptian
that's why we have
women,
more wars.
No, we don't have more. We have more wars because of the insecure men that's running the country, and they do not have a feminine perspective.
Entire kingdoms was lost over women.
Entire kingdoms were bombed over heartless men.
Over women.
Heartless men.
It's women.
That would bomb a community. We're never pressing the buttons. We're never saying drop this bomb
you are.
on the women and children. No, we're not.
Had we left it up to y'all, we would have had Kamala Harris in office. Had we left it up to y'all, we would have let.
You're missing the point.
Do you know why?
Women don't build bombs. We don't bomb cities and children. We don't do that shit. Y'all do that shit over ego, over trying to restore what's right and what's wrong, and y'all fucked up, compartmentalized minds on what you think love is and what it's not. And that's where there's a disconnect, is because of what it is that you believe in, and you're not considering that God put woman here for a reason to balance the ecosystem out.
Nope.
And when y'all drop bombs on communities and say that this person is not worthy to be a mom or a dad, or this is not worthy, who's leading by example?
Nope. We women are not built here to bring balance. They're here to be a helpmeet. That's it.
Balance.
No, that's not balance.
That's balance.
That's to do what I told you.
I am gonna help. No, that's not true.
That's exactly what
that
it is.
That is not true.
That's exactly what it is.
That is not true.
And when she started to think for herself, and when she decided to go off and do her own thing, rebelliousness, that's when she then introduced us to sin. Man was punished because he hearkened unto the voice of the woman. Woman was punished because she listened to the serpent, because she was rebellious against her husband, which is the instruction that God had gave her. And so we don't need women to lead us. We take y'all insight and we make the best decisions. In my family, we were taught that the women, when the men are talking and they getting serious, the women leave the room in order for us to handle business. And if we want y'all opinion, then we'll ask you, or we'll take into consideration what's best for you. I believe in a benevolent dictatorship. I don't believe in a democracy in a way that we're governing relationships today. I'm not interested in you inserting yourself into men's business as a woman, not you specifically, but in general. I think that men need to handle men's business. And the minute that we start hearkening unto the voice of the woman is when we lost our families, when women started tethering themselves to the government, when we started to lose the autonomy of what we was as a culture. And that's when we started to give rise to family court laws, when we started giving rise to people leveraging the government against men. That's what we started subjecting ourselves to, and we never recovered from it. That's why the civil rights movement was hijacked by feminism. That's why feminism was then turned into diversity, equity, and inclusion by way of the LGBTQ community. That's why now they get the same benefits as black people when they never had to do anything based off of how they identify. It's no reason why the alphabet community should have the same benefits that was fought for from the civil rights movement, which then included white women because they used black women as the poster child in order to get these rights through.
Now, I didn't say I agree with that.
But my point is that it all came from feminism. That is the core, and that is the thing that then set forth. That is the seed of destruction that then led us into the space that we're in today. Now, I'm not saying that women
compartmentalized feminism.
I'm not saying that women shouldn't and can't have choices to do what they want to do.
Compartmentalized feminism.
What do you mean by compartmentalizing
it? That all feminism as a whole is the reason why we got here.
Absolutely, I can.
It's not that.
Absolutely, worse off than we ever have been.
Because there's more gay men in the positions than there are
as a result of what?
Women of gay men.
Of women raising men without men in the household.
And where are the men?
Well, 80% of the women are populating with 20% of the men. That's why when you said all the 1-to-1 or men to women, it doesn't matter. Most men don't have children out of wedlock. Most black men specifically. 80% of the women are populating themselves with 20% of the men, meaning that most men are not even really getting sex like that. That's a fact. Most women skip over the man that they should have been with. And they choose to have children with a man that they know is not good for them. So if y'all intuition, wait, Tasha. If y'all intuition is so awesome,
I know you don't believe that shit, Anton.
Why are women lined up around the block at these clinics in Atlanta from getting sexually transmitted diseases from the same men that they saying that they should be in a relationship with, and those same guys, a lot of them is on the DL too? How come they can't choose a good man for themselves?
So is that a woman's fault?
Absolutely. Because a woman is supposed to be covered. Why do you think that they call a man the groom at the wedding? When the father walks the woman down the aisle and he hands her over to her husband, which is supposed to be vetted from the family, is covering to covering. She's never supposed to be by herself. She's never supposed to be making decisions by herself.
So you don't feel like black men, because, and this is something that I do talk about very often on my platform, is that you don't feel like men in general have a responsibility to ensure that we're covered? So that
absolutely, but I don't have a responsibility to ensure that people are covered that I'm not responsible for. I have a responsibility to ensure that my wife and the people that I'm responsible for are covered. Now, if you decide to be rebellious on your own, it's not my responsibility to go and chase you down because you're not mine.
In jail from committing crimes or doing whatever, God knows what.
So whose
fault is that?
When does the responsibility start to fall on the person that chose?
It sounds like you're trying to shift responsibility to the females.
I'm not, because I'm responsible.
I'm
responsible for the person that I'm responsible for.
We can end on this note and agree to disagree.
I'm coming back, and I'm gonna have you on my platform too.
Yeah. So you know what platform you came on to say this shit.
Absolutely, Tasha.
That's why you said I own the business. She runs it. I got you, brother. I got you. Listen, I believe that when people are good people, they're good people. Mm. And a lot of people are raised in situations that they have no control over.
Right.
And yes, we would like to live in a perfect world. And I would love to live in a perfect world where everyone had a mom and a dad and didn't have to worry about perverts or pedophiles, altering their destinies and things like that, or beating them, or even if they had a man and a woman in the household, maybe the mom was a drunk, maybe the dad was a drunk, and because they didn't deal with whatever trauma it is that was bestowed upon them. But at the end of the day, every day that we wake up and we breathe and we're given life every day, we're able to make do and change and live the best that we can. But to say that people are not fit to raise children that have been traumatized, and a lot of the LGBTQ will tell you that they're traumatized. A lot of them will tell you that if you sit down and hear them and listen to them, that they've already been compromised. And so, but does that make them incapable of raising a child to walk a straight line? Half of them will tell you, I would say majority of them will tell you, my child is not gonna be gay. I don't parade that lifestyle around my kids. So to say that they cannot be that is absolute bullshit. Because in order for us to do right, people are gonna have to start having babies, especially within our community, whether LGBTQ or not, and raise children to go the right way despite their own shortcomings. And that's where the word of God comes in and why Jesus, in my opinion. And so I'm operating in my full femininity, which is the nature, which is the nurture and love. And that's why I die to give birth, to kids. And so I respect you too. Anton, you want to end with something? Go ahead, take it home, and then we're going to end.
Listen. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. My goal, despite us being uncomfortable and having our conversations, is to get uncomfortable with having these conversations. I love Tasha K. I think that she's awesome. She's a necessary voice in the community, and I respect her so much that I decided that I wanted to come and pull up on her in person. But more importantly, love your neighbor. Love the person that you land next to every day. That's the way that we show that we love God. I appreciate you.
And I appreciate everything that you do. Keep showing these men, especially black men, how the it's done. Okay?
In the words of Tasha K.
Absolutely. Now we got to go for now. Cheers, brother. Bye.
Damn, how long did we talk?
3 hours.
Really?
That's why I told them to tell that other lady I'll see her tomorrow. Okay.